following segment discuss content that is of adult nature. The views and opinions expressed are not that of the SABC and are that of participating contributors and listeners, and do not reflect that of the official policy or position of Metro FM.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is that time. We are here. Naked DJ is here. Of course, Somizi is back. We've missed him. The entire team is here. The entire team is here. But most importantly, understanding that this is Ask a Man, where we are catching up with every single individual that at least came on to Ask a Man. We touch base with them.
I'll get you catch up
to say, listen, I've got a bit of an update. Please do give me a call. Let's do the catch up. And I'm seeing many super excited for this opportunity just to hear how
you guys doing this December.
Anonymous. And of course, if you are listening right now and have ever been on Ask a Man, please don't be afraid to let us know via WhatsApp line 060-552-7303.
Hello, I'm happy to see you guys here. I'm happy to see you guys here. I hear there are some changes that have happened.
So we are going back to the 27th of June 2023. It's
so
just a
what
reminder of what happened there, and then we'll speak to Anonymous. Hashtag Ask a Man right here on Breakaway. Let's give you a bit of a summary so we can continue with Anonymous. Of course, Anonymous met her husband in 2009. The relationship is okay, but she's been having issues with her in-laws and felt like her husband wasn't supporting her, and this led to her cheating on her husband. Anonymous says things have now gone better with her husband and she feels bad for the cheating. She even had some tears there, but she has fallen in love with the man she's been having an affair with.
You know what, Somizina? You know when you are married like for a very long time, because I wouldn't know.
It was 3 weeks.
So I got married when I was like very young, and you know when it's like that, you end up taking your, I don't know, but on my side, like because things are not okay, but it was not okay between me and my husband. So I end up taking him as a brother, as a cousin. You understand?
Yeah.
So here is this gentleman I am with now. Very loving, you know, he's like future orientated. We click, you know.
It's been a month, Anonymous. So in the future, 28, 3 weeks.
No, get out. What I'm trying to say is when I ask him like certain questions, I can tell for this person, only like, you know, ambitious is ambitious. You know, he knows what he wants.
MT was also ambitious, and Stava was also ambitious at some point. They're no longer there. There's this thing in your head that says, I got married young, we've been married, and my marriage is boring. I need something, I need some spice. And you are cheating, you've gotten your spice. You don't feel bad, Anonymous.
I didn't cheat because I wanted to. I felt he was not there. He was not defensive.
Have you ever heard of divorce?
No.
I'm a believer of fixing things before you throw in the towel. Mina, I'm a believer of perseverance. I'm a believer of fixing. I'm a Bob the Builder. I believe before we throw in the towels, I believe that explore everything and anything so that when you decide to leave, you would have done everything in your power. Do you understand? So we are fixing this thing, Anonymous. We are not letting go of the marriage, Stella-san.
So the question is the marriage fixed? Has she let go of the situation? Good morning, Anonymous. How are you?
Good morning. How are you, Kagiso?
We good, thanks. And yourself, Anonymous?
Yeah, I'm good.
The team is here. We're excited for your update, whether good or bad, happy or sad. So Mizi's here, Naked DJ's here. So let's start, man. From the day that you came on to Ask a Man, firstly, did you tell your partner that you're on the show?
No, I didn't. Never. I will never do that. Yeah, I will die with this one.
You'll die with this one.
Which partner?
Which partner are you referring to, Anonymous?
I'm referring to my husband. So what happened is, I need to be honest with you guys. When I was told that you guys will call me and get the feedback, I was like very excited because at times I felt like I should call you and tell you what were the changes and everything. So to be honest, so Mizi unchopile, he chopped me very well, and I had to sit down with myself. You know, I love Somizi, and I'm like, you know what, spade to spade. So what happened is, At that time, remember, I said I wanted to go for HIV test, remember?
We remember.
So yes, then I went to Lancet, then I did my test, and then they came back. Luckily, I was still negative. And then, to be honest, I still continued with the other guy that I was chatting with. And along the way, just that I cannot say a lot on air, but along the way, because my job, I'm like, I know a lot of things like scam and everything. So he knows that there is something I was waiting for. Then I told him that I don't have plans, but I wanted to start a business. So he came with this idea, scam about. So then I was like, oh, because of I know the nation and everything, then that's when I ran away. But even before, I was like not okay. I was not like the way I used to be with him, and he would pick up. So I am thinking, because me knowing those people, he wanted to scam me since he saw that I'm no longer the same, to say, you know what, let me grab the opportunity because I see she's no longer the same. At least even if she goes, I have gained through the scam. So I let go of the relationship, not because of I saw that I wanted to be scammed. I've already concluded about him. So even when I got my results from the lab, we didn't even did anything together. So it was hard kisses and all that. So I didn't even visit his apartment. We'll just meet at the shopping center, or he'll come to my workplace. So I would make sure that I don't undress myself. I get really painted. There's no way. I'm not going back again.
Okay.
So,
Anonymous.
okay.
Sorry, my
yes,
baby. Sorry, my love. Just to make sure I understand you. You are still with your husband?
Yes, I am.
And so
I am, but Somizi, things haven't changed. Things haven't changed. I'm not getting the love that I want or I wish from my husband.
Okay, Anonymous, can I just stop you there? I want us to touch base on the man that you cheated on with your husband because you fell in love with him at that point, right? Let's just quickly go into the news headlines. We'll be back, okay, Mama?
Yes.
Sure.
Okay, no problem.
Guys, when I started this, I did not make my tea. And, you know, now I feel like I was supposed to have made tea. Hi, guys. What's happening?
In the Eastern Cape. And Limpopo farm manager Mark Scott
Are you guys well? How is December not treating you? How are things going, y'all? Are you all good?
All right, Anonymous is on the line, taking us back to the 27th of June, 2023.
27th of June.
And of course, we're just finding out what's been happening in her relationship since she was lost on Ask a Man. And of course, this was a situation where she had an issue with her in-laws, felt like her husband wasn't supporting her, and this led to her cheating on her husband. And of course, cheating, but she also fell in love with the man she was having an affair with. So that's where we are now. Anonymous, what's happening with this man that you had an affair with?
So we done. I blocked him. I don't even know his number by head. And I've moved on. I blocked the guy. I've decided that, look, I need to do things right for my kids. I don't want, end of the day, my kids to say, Mommy, yes, we've raised us, but we are where we are because of the decisions that you made. So I realized, like, look, I love my husband, even though he's not loving me the way I want or, wish to be loved. Even now, me and my husband, we're not okay. Like, we're not okay, but there is no one that I'm even cheating with right now.
Okay. So now you are exclusively back to your husband, right?
Fully.
All right. So why are you still with him when you are the only one that's pouring into this cup?
As you know what, I need to be very honest with you, Somizi. I need to be honest with you. I still love my husband. If we can work out things, because he is too rural. Those guys, they don't even want us to down. You understand? Let's go for marriage counseling. Those guys like, look, Mina, I'm a rural guy. You understand?
See, Anonymous, sorry, Kata. Then this is a personal opinion. It's not of the stations or naked or kutos.
No problem. No problem. Yes.
I have, and with the 51 years of living, I've been where you are. I've experienced. I've seen things, and I believe it's never too late to stop making excuses for people.
I know.
We don't know, because if you knew, you wouldn't be here. So I'm like, I have reached zero tolerance of making excuses for people that do not reciprocate the kindness, the love, the affection, the don't. It's a give and take. It's a give and take. In one way, you'll find it a bit, but I live in a two-way street. You come, you go. You get in, you get out. Okay. You pull in, you pull out.
All right.
It's not all the time one way.
That's true.
So life is too short to be making excuses for people.
I know.
And two, sorry, naked. And two, just think how much time you are wasting of yourself from finding the joy that you deserve. Rather be alone and find contentment and happiness on your own, and than to be with someone who the only thing they do is drain you, because they're not giving you back. And if you say he's rural, there's nothing wrong with being rural.
There is not.
There's nothing wrong with being rural, but I get what you mean. You mean he's what's the word? Strict and uptight and
yes,
so
exactly.
then you're not compatible, because you need a man who is easy, who shows affection, who tells you how much he loves you, who hugs you, who makes you feel safe, and so forth and so on. So if that's not the case, you are wasting your time. Start thinking of what to do and stop hoping that he will change, because also it's not his fault that he is the way he is.
But she's committed to me.
Yeah, but yes, commitment does not mean.
But Tony, let me tell you, are like, okay, I love my husband, and even if maybe one, like you're saying, I've got hopes, and those hopes are but now, I've got kids. My kids love Bababo. Like, they love their father so bad. And at times I'm like, you know what? Let me just I'm not gonna say that I'm there for the kids. I am there because I love my husband. I love my husband. I am there because I've got hope with one day, and I still love my husband, and my kids love their husband, and I've been raised by both parents. I know how it feels to be raised by both parents. I used to be a jealous little girl, Mina. My father is no more. You understand? So I want that for my girls. I want that for my girls.
Okay, Anonymous.
You understand? So I can move on. But this person, Angitanda Matoho, because I get attached.
Yeah,
you understand? Because I'm still young. No, I'm just saying. I know when somebody says...
Anonymous.
Yeah. Guys, we're all rural. The rural part actually plays in your favor, right? Rural, traditional, whatever it is. This is where, when people come back to global, like it's the families joining. Meaning, even when there are issues, it's the parents that come in. Maybe when you are too Western, which is the problem. Stop pointing fingers at this guy.
I think you are misjudging me.
Anonymous, please give me
I think, can I talk? I think you're misjudging me because you know why I'm saying this, man? You know why I'm saying this? I think you're misjudging me, and I don't.
Anonymous, we are asking kindly for you to give Naked an opportunity to respond, and then we'll allow you to respond back. All right, I'm going to turn up your volume now.
Okay.
So, look, maybe you are a little bit too Western. The fact that he is rural, this is where the families come in.
I'm from
and the families will be
there.
Can
I just hang up because I think you are judging me somehow. You are judging me somehow, and I was trying to. That's why also needs to explain to say no. That means
okay. Anonymous, are you gonna relax or are you gonna fight?
And no, I don't like how you
Anonymous.
So you are telling me that I am also rural. So when talking about Western, when I started to call you guys, I told you my in-laws, they don't appreciate me. They don't like me from the get-go. Mabang Lobola, they were not involved. So don't tell me now you are going back. It's like you don't know my story. Because now you are saying that I should have involved the families. I cannot involve the families because my in-laws, they don't like me because I'm not going to say it on air. It's something to do with the culture. You understand?
Yeah.
So don't say I'm Western. What? I'm not Western. I am rural. I'm from Limpopo. You understand? Okay. So I was trying to find a nice way to say, which So now when you say now what, it's like we're going back and forth because I told you with my in-laws, they don't approve me. You understand?
So you don't have family right now. Because when we say family is anonymous, we say family, your family
She's
included.
She's gone naked.
Oh, okay.
She dropped the line. She's gone.
Yeah, but yeah.
She's gone.
Naked means anonymous.
Oh, I didn't do anything.
She was just triggered by the fact that now she feels like she's going back now because of what was said.
Anyway, are we gonna have it back?
Let's try.
Given?
Let's try. We'll pay some bills.
Okay.
And then ask Given to try and bring back Anonymous. Are you okay, naked?
I'm always okay.
Okay.
Are you okay?
I see. What is anonymous?
In a competitive
Guys, what's happening?
boss is not just on your side, but by your side
Hi.
for success.
Good. What day is it today, guys? Also these days are running. It's Tuesday, right? Good morning, guys.
And short learning programs.
Good morning. How you guys doing?
Work or one of
December
our
Ntsana.
support centers.
Thank you for turning up. It's wow, guys. You know, I can't. I don't know. Should we continue or should we try and see if they're gonna bring her back? I don't know if I want her back on the line because wow, Anonza since July or whatever June, she's still like this. Perfect. No ways. What is happening, guys? Anyway, for those who are joining us for the first time, we are Makoya Rundown. We are here Monday to Friday, 20 past 10. We usually listen to Ask a Man, weigh in on the issues at hand, and then we have our own segment, Talk to Me Ntwana. Today I was genuinely not expecting to hear anything on Ask a Man because of how they've switched up things. But we are here. And it moved from 0 to 100 real quick like this. I really don't know what is happening. But nonetheless, thank you for joining us. We appreciate you, those who have followed our live. Thank you so much. We also have an episode on YouTube. Same name, Makoya Rundown on YouTube. And we have an episode out. Go check it out. Thank you for those who have been viewing, who have been commenting. And a lot of y'all will be saying, when is the next one? It's coming through. So we are here. What's happening, subs? Yeah. Oh yes, and there is our live recaps. It's not even a live recap. The whole lives that we've been having on TikTok, we are now posting them on YouTube. So all those fire advices we have heard, we have given, and all the great conversations we've had. I think so far, Leroy, how many did you post up? 3 or 4, if I'm not mistaken. So head on to YouTube, hear what we've been all about. If you're joining us for the first time, of course, you'll get to know who we are, and you'll get to see how our lives are going and things like that. So thank you. They haven't said anything as yet. Also, Leroy has made about 5. We have put up about 5. Let's see if they've managed. Augustine.
Naked? Sumizi?
Yebo.
We are here.
Yes, we are here.
We're here now.
So I wanted to say to Anonymous, she's saying the kids love their father. The father loves their kids. She grew up she was raised by both parents, married and stuff. And so everything that she's saying nothing is saying anything about her. She's living vicariously through other people's she's living her dream through other people. Her dream of having a perfect family, her dream of her kids having a perfect family, and not realize that out of everyone else that she's talking about, everyone else is living their truth. She's the only one who's not living their truth or not living her full potential.
Is that why you feel like she was triggered by what Naked was saying in terms of being westernized?
Not really.
No?
It's unrelated. Yeah, it's unrelated. She's over compromising.
I see what you mean.
She's over sacrificing. Because the kids will still have a mother and a father. But at the moment, the kids have a mother and a father who are not happy. So rather, it's better for kids to have a mother and a father who are separated but are happy. 1. 2, I honestly feel that the energy that she gave us now, when she didn't want to stop and she was vigorous and enthusiastic and angry and frustrated, that's the same energy she needs to use to leave that marriage. You see now, she didn't make any excuse why she's shouting at us. She didn't make an excuse why she couldn't let us stop. She
wanted to be heard.
She didn't even think twice to hang up.
Yeah.
Can she use the same energy?
Sure.
Wow.
Please.
Wow.
You mustn't be choosing our energies.
Sure.
Honestly, like, guys, let's encourage reciprocal. Reciprocity. The way Lick it, please say it.
I have reciprocate.
Reciprocity.
Okay.
Uhlekani wena? I'm right, ne? Naked, I'm right. Please tell me I'm right.
For today, you are that one. Yeah. So,
She doesn't.
so what are you saying? Like, if she's triggered about little things or very mature conversations, maybe this is not the relationship for her.
Maybe she can't be in a relationship if in every argument or
Right, Bombs?
conflict or confrontation, there needs to be a time to talk and a time to listen.
Yeah.
And for me, I picked up something as well, that when she's angry, it's her. And that, for me, is a red flag.
Okay.
Because also, you remember, the disadvantage about asking men is that we only hear one side of the story.
Yeah.
So we never know why this man switched off, maybe at some point. Maybe a cheeky when the man goes, oh, model C, and then she flips. We don't know. So I'm saying, Witty, whatever happens, Anonymous, be truthful to your story. If you are a victim in this story, let it be the truth. If you have played a part in this story, which I believe most of the time in marriages, we both play a part in either building or breaking the marriage,
Yeah.
take that role. Then you'll find a way forward. But don't live your dreams through your children and your husband and your family, wanting to create that perfect picture at the expense of your happiness.
Okay. So what should Anonymous do now? Now that we are here, now that she's hung up on
But
us, she's
how-
actually she was angry at me. What do you think that she should do?
So let me just start with a comment here, right? Just
Who's
to
the
have a
general?
springboard at least. At Sam
the
Trong
general?
3 says, Anonymous, it's exactly what I thought. Families are seldom wrong, but someone. Her attitude, her being under pressure, brought out the real her. Rude and petulant, not surprised. Hashtag ask a man.
Look, guys, I'm not. Look, to come to Anonymous's defense, nah,
Please.
we're all human beings.
Yeah.
And sometimes it takes something small to trigger us.
100%.
Anonymous was triggered. And we are all human beings.
And I'm grateful that she fought for
Yeah.
that.
So I also do not want to say point fingers at Anonymous. If then Anonymous needs to seek a professional counseling, talk to someone professional and get to the bottom of
her
what does make her angry. Why does she get triggered? Guys, something could trigger me today. Maybe I've got underlying issues. And as Anonymous had called in for help, so we're not gonna, I just don't want us to point fingers at anyone, even the tweets, let's rather guide her into being a better person, a better listener, like Somizi had said, even when you feel like you don't like what you heard.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I completely agree with you. And again, the reality of Ask a Man is that we only know our Anonymouses for 40 minutes.
True.
And that's it. And same with the listeners. We can only assume things based on the information we get, based on the energy we get, So we cannot say she's a bad listener. We cannot say she's a good listener.
Yeah.
Because also it could have been something like your Western could mean something that has happened to her during the marriage.
Yes, but you know what's scary? Is that she felt comfortable saying someone is rural.
Yes.
So you can be comfortable to call someone rural, but when someone says maybe you are a little bit too Western, then it's a trigger.
Yeah, she's got restaurant mentality.
Explain further.
Please.
She's able to dish it, but she can't take it.
Yo, a restaurant mentality. That's a new one. Like, we're gonna be using that a whole lot in 2024, guys.
He sucked that one out, guys. No ways. No ways.
Oh wow.
Pull that one out of that.
Imagine taking food to the restaurant. A plate, guys, and lambang.
Imagine I go to my therapist and they tell me at restaurant mentality.
That's right. Don't go to gay therapy.
It's so easy.
Okay, don't go to unhealed gay therapists.
Martin, everyone did not hear me. Only you.
If they did.
Only you.
A shout out to the people whose banking
Only you. Ladies and gentlemen, good morning once again. Welcome to our daily chats. And we are here. We've just seen the the beauty and the ugly of it. And guys, I don't know. I don't even know if or if any of you guys would like to comment on this, to even have a conversation on this. I have so many questions, but we are here. Ntatali. What's up, man? I go looking. Let's see the joke. O kgangwa ke boroso tsala. Kometsa o phosa swela kambo. Re tla tla re dila le wena. Hey, this is Bongs. I can't believe we survived that, guys. We are strong, yes. Yeah, kuraf, guys, kuraf. Everyone who would like to comment, please send a request, come through. Or you just want to weigh in. I don't know what it is, but let's let's come through. How do we? I don't know. I don't even know what to say. I don't know what to say about Anonza, but I have so much in me, inside me. There's a lot, but I don't know what to say. I'm too saying, please, come on, help me. What's happening, guys? Shafere? We comedy to sharp, I'm not.
Man, exe. No. Exe, Braga mañana, Luena, man. Okay. Like that. Right, like basically this like this lady must learn to take accountability actually, because clearly she has what can I okay for like lack of a better word, nah, behavioral like working behavioral method. So she must actually like work on that and be 100% honest like with herself, because like clearly she is hiding some things, then like saying the other thing just to make herself like feel bad, you know, because you can hear her, and they're like like high happy, but at the same time she is um she is making it work for the kids, let's say. So I'm like, no, man, and it's just that like, just move on, just grow, just be a better person, learn to manage your like Gauteng ga los fela. Kan ke? Yeah, lezi zinto learn to manage that. Nje feel sharp.
Leroy,
why
o ja voroso le wane o tima ngwana mo?
Like we lo go etsa manalo, so I was like, hayo. Voroso
Oh. Because ngwana wa tharo o tshwere ke tlala kwa o mo tima voroso, so but anyway.
Voroso e teng.
Okay. No, we ikutlwetse. Awera so Ndate Tiger.
Yeah, good morning, everyone.
How are you doing, sir?
I am well. And how are you doing in that? KG?
You know, Zazi, I think there's clouds in my side of town. There's no sun. Who chilled, man? Who not? Get December.
Happy bari elitsatsi le o tlhabetse o re ya jwang?
O la ramela warra.
I know era ore today o ka se ra ramele because una le maru ka fao.
Wa bona. Mara, we live. We are here.
Yeah,
come with it.
Let's check this thing quick, eh?
Sure.
Guys, every honeymoon phase, it's so nice. Honeymoon phase, it's so nice because we find out that Anonza was judging by the honeymoon phase that the guy that I met now, he's so genius. He have future thoughts. He is articulating well the future thoughts and everything. Because now she was comparing the honeymoon phase that she was getting outside and the phase that she was getting inside her marriage. So surprisingly, after that, she started to say, no, that person was not genuine, or that person was a scam. So we now ask ourselves, like, what did she really show when she say the guy has got a real future, a nice future, and everything? Because now she is also revealing to us that no, Mugai is a foreign national, Mugai is a scam, Mugai is a... Why she didn't consider that, all those problems from the beginning, right? It's a question mark. Then when we go to restaurant behavior of hers, we now find out that is why the in-laws, they are having a problem with her because she is not well reasoned. So I think she is trying to make her problem our problem, and she doesn't want us to assist her. So I am feeling very much sorry for the husband because all this thing, it's happening at the back of the husband. She is busy trying to change the dating partners at the husband's back, and she's busy arranging whatever she wants to arrange at the back of the husband. So I think I will leave it there because this Anonza problem has got a lot of loopholes. Because since from 23 June up until now, she hasn't decided what she wants, and she doesn't want to grow. She wants to stay in the same position, or the same the stationary position.
So
it's very bad because now abanye abantu, they are being classified as the rural objects or as the rural husband, and it means that if there is a rural husband, there must be also a Western husband. So it's another question mark.
I know you are coming with question marks today.
Unfortunately, she ran out, so we will remain with these question marks.
Definitely. No, I hear you, sir. I hear you.
Yeah.
Thank you for that. Yeah, it's
Yeah, and then maybe the last word, like, guys, let's, at some point, I think we are overreacting to our partners. Let's try to find the root cause of the problem and fix the problem before we go finding out another partners outside, because what we are starting outside, obvious everywhere. Honeymoon phase, it will be nice and sweet. So let's try to use that energy of the new honeymoon phase to fix whatever that we can in our current relationship.
Hey.
Because it's so very it's not fair. You can't say this guy, the foreign national guy, it's so good. He sounds so future perfection. He has got big plans and big dreams. And now you are telling us the guy is a scam. No, you can't. If you have got a grade 12, you could have told us that the guy is a scam in your first date.
Taigo, mute your mic. Mute your mic.
But ranki be fao kitsencheli matsoho ka mo maswingi.
Sharp. Yeah, no. Hey. Yo, yeah. 6 bonds. Six bonds come through.
Good tense, Sanbonen.
Good tense. For real. Yeah. How you doing, Mama?
I'm good. Yeah, I just want to speak on the part of self-regulation. I feel that sometimes no moment to point a valid, like your delivery. Yes, you are traumatized and triggered by whatever is being said, but people miss each other at the point of losing control over emotion. You understand? We all have them, male and female. However, the key there is how you regulate your emotions.
True.
So somebody says something to you that is a sore point, right? The idea there is to not let them see that they have pushed that button. You calm yourself down, you respond calmly, because manje, even if, let us just say, this guy is a horrible person, now her whole character is invalidated by what? Her lack of self-regulation. Because all we are seeing now, all 52 of us, we just see a woman who went ballistic. Do you understand? On radio. And now we are not even able to empathize or even see the true version of the person she's trying to describe, the person she had to live and contend with. Do you understand? And we're not even able to get through to her to say, Mama, it's probably not cute for you to behave in this way. And if you have picked up on this, how about you gather yourself and maybe make a fresh start? Because one thing I've picked up on most ladies, especially this December time, relationships are very vulnerable, is that people are terrified of starting all over again. And people are terrified of being alone. And there is such a thing called anxiety phobia. What you call it, anxiety of being alone. It's like a phobia of some sort. Where people are just they're terrified of being alone, shame. But it says then anybody can come and go as they want and poke you as much as they want, leaving cracks all over your wall. And the one day Leroy says one little word, all your walls come crumbling down, and you bleed on people that never cut you those fancy words. We see it here. We saw it just now, where you are losing it, and people now cannot even see past what has happened to you, because now it begs the question of your actual character. Not what happened to you, but your character is like, oh, who do you become when these things happen? And this is now Hotswa because yeah, u-acta kanje wena vele. Do you understand? And
Sure.
people lack empathy for you. So when it is not to say that when people say women are emotional, men are emotional, but they act on it. Do you understand? Whereas Tina, we talk about it. So what we need to learn as a people is to self-regulate. What do I mean when I say men act on it? They will leave your ass. Women will talk and cry and blab about it. Do you understand? So we are all equal on the emotional side. We get that. However, let us learn to regulate so that when you explain your problem to another person, they're able to rationalize, empathize, and say, I'm not telling you what to do. However, how about this? It's like equipping you with the tools. Then it's up on you to say, no, I'll use a screwdriver for this one. No, I think I need a flat for this one. But at least you have the tools.
Sure.
Do you understand? Can we just, most especially going into 2024, guys? Because wow.
Kuningia. Thank you so much, Response. Yeah, Martin was speaking about how soft-spoken you are, and then you just drop bars, and then I'm a flat and I'm a screwdriver. Martin, ushapo Joe. Ushapo maro, my friend. Ushapo. Grand, unulete dinta. Ushapo. Dankili. Araski mi di ba, ripoy.
Yeah,
Babashai.
very. Yeah. Jo again, this is bongs. Jo it's again, you are a star. You deserve a pom, but then today I did. But then,
You guys, you will overinflate somebody's ego, yes?
and like, yeah, wait for it. No.
Let me
Like,
tell you.
We are not overinflating. We are appreciating. Yabo, we are appreciating kuti maniazin. We love it here. Lee, Aru, boy. Dr. Martin.
and my network is this boy hard.
Okay.
Fine.
Another pie. Dr. Martin.
XCKGZ
Sure, Cobrizi.
Dintang
The
Brayaka
grand Cobrizi.
Awayits Wakits Yeah
Wena le mponyana tsantsere le ntwe ke family show eh. Please.
We must put an age restriction rated 18.
Please,
Rated.
man. No. Can't be doing such things here.
I have a question for Sis Bongs in there.
Sure.
Because she mentioned Hore, she spends too much time with her dad. My question is, in most cases, or in a lot of cases rather, let me use that word, women who often spend a lot of time around their male figures, particularly their dads, they tend to be somewhat more in tune and in touch with their masculine side. So by virtue of me saying that, when they often enter into relationships, it may often come across as if they are not necessarily feminine, but the feminine side is not necessarily forthcoming.
Okay.
It's like it's keeping it on the down low kind of a thing. So they think like a man. They want to do things like a man. I see you drinking iced tea, not iced tea, green tea there. So yeah, that's my question for Sis Bongs. My question is, how are you in a relationship?
Shit. Okay. Okay.
Oh my God.
Way to just, yeah.
Hi.
Yo, let's make it today, Tuesday. Okay. So my feminine side is made up. I had to cultivate it, and not giving too much of my past, but I'm one who wasn't raised by a mother. I didn't have one. So she passed on at birth. So I grew up with this dude. He was my dad. He was in the military. So you can understand personality and the aggression that comes with that type of work. So when he returned after I was born, so he had to now get off the force and come back to raise me. So it was almost like I was the little boy he always wanted, you know. So yes, I am a little bit switched off because banokuthi unenkani bonga, you know, hlula inkani yakho, you know, this relationship would last, but unenkani because for me, the word no rolls off my tongue very easily. Do you understand? I don't faff around. I don't feel the need to explain. Do you understand? And all those things, because obviously as a child, I feel like any gender that you are as a child, you kind of mimic your parents, especially now if you have one parent and you're the opposite gender of that parent. You know, for me, I always wanted to be like my dad, so I mimicked everything. You know, he's very straightforward about things, and I feel like sometimes men that I've encountered, they expect you to be gentle, and I think that's like normal people vibes.
Yeah.
Like women are gentle towards men, and then now when they meet somebody who is not very fine tuned in that, like how do you just say no, no explanation? Like women usually explain. How do you just, like, it doesn't bother you that this is not happening, you know, and things like that. So I've actually taken a lady etiquette class, guys. That's how bad it is. Just to like try and get into like my feminine side, to learn how to say please, and I know how to say thank you, but like, okay, ngicela ube, you know, like how do you say please to a man? It really, I really need to work around it. Like it takes me a while to oh, this is embarrassing.
No, it's not.
But
Not at all. Please feel
I'm not
free.
even like, now I'm stuttering because there's just a lot going on in my
You
mind because I'm put in a
you will
corner.
be surprised. Let me tell you this, you'll be surprised of the responses you're going to get. Continue. Watch. Just watch. Continue speaking. Feel free.
Sure. So yes, it's like, for me it had to be a learned thing to get into my feminine energy, because it just learning to basically compromise, you know, learning to be understanding. Because for me, I'll tell you this: if I'm not talking, I'm not talking. And I don't mean that in a selfish manner, because I explicitly explain, honey, I am not in a space to adequately engage with you right now. I do need to process what has happened. Therefore, I'm leaving. Do you understand? And I go. So I think other people that I've met, I used to, let's argue. I don't know how to do that, because with my dad, it was, he would give you a look if you did something wrong. I mean, nobody needed to explain what that meant.
Yep.
So I can't now give my partner a look. So I now
Exactly.
communicate and say, I'm not in a space to, and my current partner has had to learn to say, okay, I'm going to sit here quietly with you. No one's leaving. Do you understand? And that's a skill I have learned with the current person, to say, we're not leaving. We have staying power. However, we're going to sit here quietly. We're going to process it together. No one's going anywhere. Because I used to be the person that leaves. So in every relationship, I suppose we learn something healthy and new. So that's the skill I've learned in this relationship. So we sit, we in silence, we're there, we're still taking care of each other. I'm sure you've seen these videos where people still make each other tea, even though they're mad at each other. So we're like that. We sit until I have, because I don't want to be in a heated state. I don't want to be in a state where I am seen as the lesser person or as a person who's not capable of rationalizing. Do you understand? Or as the person whose emotions are always heightened. I don't like these connotations when it comes to us as women and us expressing ourselves. So I prefer to gather myself so that I give you 100% when I respond, so that I do not have or leave a gap where I'm going to say something I'm going to later regret, because I am not going to write you a Bible scripture and apologize. And I think generally as women, apologizing does not come as easy. So it's worse when you have too much masculinity in you. It's just like, I'm not doing it. I'd rather lose, because there's just something about that ego that overclouds you sometimes. And when especially if you've been wronged, even though you know that now where you could have probably handled the situation better, but you don't feel the need to apologize. But it's like it's a learning process for me. Hence, I was talking earlier about self-regulation. I've had to really learn to be present and say, okay, I'm not leaving. I'm gonna be silent, and I'm rather gonna listen to what is being said to me, because I'm usually the person who leaves. So yes, being raised by a man, and especially a single father, is it's not as easy, especially now when you have to relate to other female counterparts. Even at school, you can't relate when people are saying Happy Mother's Day and they're doing all these cute things. It's like bizarre to you, like what the hell is happening? And then you meet girls in my age, they just like, oh my mom this, oh my mom that, and then they're like, oh my dad, and everybody's like, what is she on about? I've also realized that I'm always going to be a misfit everywhere, particularly in relationships, and you will in my situation meet men who have parenting trauma from their fathers, and you have to adjust around the issue. I may have a different kind of trauma where it is an absentia of this kind of parent instead of them having walked away and left me. This was not a choice, it was made for me and all of us. Do you understand? But also having to relearn my father as I've grown up, as I've become a woman. Now having to understand how he raised me, how he had to, try and channel my mother through him. It's little bits and pieces now that beyond 25, you're able to make executive decisions as a person. That's the age where we say, now you make executive decisions. So I'm able to take things that are going to be things that I would like to pass on to my children and their children's children from my father, and channel him. So yes, when I talk, I probably talk more boy talk than girl talk. It is nothing fancy about that. It's just who you hang around with a lot. And obviously I'm gonna talk a lot around my father, because that's who I know. That's like my map of how to treat the opposite gender, like what to expect, how the bar is set, and what things they say you should compromise on, but men, they know, like it's an unspoken code. They know you should really not compromise on, So you do get those like inside information, which is really cute sometimes, but it's not easy knowing that. Because it took a while for me to register that. So I'm different. So I'm like the other gender. I'm the one that is expected to be humble and calm and soft and gentle. And now as an 18-year-old, you have to process all of that in. Like when you're in varsity, when boys stop you on the road, you actually have to stop and say hello, because in my mind, why are we stopping? When somebody's waiting, you actually have to be nice, and all of those silly little things. But we can go on and on and on. But it's a very weird kind of way to exist.
just a small peek into your past. In high school, not even high school, primary school, were you hanging out with boys or girls mostly?
So primary school, definitely boys, because I was a tomboy. I was the girl all losing gomo. Yeah,
Okay.
with the shaved head.
All right.
I confused gender. If I can confess that.
Yeah.
At some point, I thought I was boy, because I acted like one, I left like one.
Yeah.
But then in high school, people start telling you, "Oh, you look cute,"
Yeah.
you're this and that, and then and then you're going through the stage of puberty, and you have to tell your dad. Well, actually, he came to fetch me at school because
Yeah.
my first period I was in class, and then he
Yeah.
just sit me down and I'll do that's in the birds and the bees, and explain to me what is happening to my body, blah blah blah.
Sure.
And
Okay.
then it's like very uncomfortable to now understand, oh crap, so my body will do something different
Sure.
versus Usiabonga from next door.
Yeah. All right.
Weird.
No, well understood. And before I give Martin an opportunity, everyone who's joining us for the first time, stick around. Thank you for following those who are following us. We're just having conversations about things that matter to us. We get to know a little bit of some of us, and we discuss things that really, make our lives a little bit more better. So stick around indeed. Short Tumza Ogrenta Bosso. Good stuff. Martin, were you answered, sir?
I was over and above answered. Thank you so much for taking us through your life, giving us a slight glimpse in terms of your upbringing, where you're coming from, where you are right now. Maybe not necessarily where you're going to, but thank you for giving us an overview. Very interesting, actually. It's very, very interesting. Yeah, that's all I can say. Take it away, PGs.
That's good. So I think in your question, when Martin, you opened up I would say a young can. I don't know of what, but you opened a young can. Because it's fascinating how being brought up, however you were brought up, be it in a single parent household, or obviously the yeah, it's a lot. My brain is just going boof 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 boof. He's a lot, but I just want. Adango. So yeah, I mean, it's things like these where we get to see how our upbringing influences all aspects of our lives, and particularly relationships. Excuse me, in the short story that Mrs. Bongs gave us, there was a number of stereotypes that we can draw from there or point out. There were a number of surprises where you're like, oh, one would not expect that coming from a point of view of a stereotype, and how then now at a certain age as an adult, you now come in and begin to see, now you look at your father and how he raised you and how certain things were done, and you're like, okay, so here he was trying to compensate, here he was trying to do this, here they were trying to do this, and you then begin to now either, I don't know what word to use, you begin to now see them in a different light. And I think also it takes a bit of maturity to then begin to interrogate some of those and let go of some of the hurts that you are holding on as a child because you did not know any better, and now you're seeing that, Okay, no, it was not because he was being harsh on me. It was because he did not know how to handle this particular aspect because ordinarily it gets handled by females. So I kind of have to let go now of that pain because now I'm seeing where he's coming from. I'm putting myself in those shoes. And it's very great to hear and see and how much now you have to undo some of the things or unlearn some of the things that you picked up growing up and all of that. So it's an intriguing thing. How says Banks Martin says you haven't answered his ask. Which ask is this one? And I don't think she will answer it, but it's fine.
Co-ask, what ask is that?
You wanted to know your age.
Oh, I'm 34. I'm very comfortable with the
Okay.
information.
Well, that's very great. Out of, and we're not going to necessarily focus on you, but I'm gonna take your story and just pick certain things that I would like to talk about, right?
Cool.
So, out of, for instance, now, you are of age, you've reached whatever level of maturity you've reached to now look at how you were being parented. At what age was this when you begin to now make this change and this paradigm shift to look at your parent in a different manner or even begin to process some of these things? And how long, perhaps, obviously it's still ongoing, but how long did it take you to, to deal with some of the hard stuff?
So I would say it was probably when I was 18 because I saw, and I'll take you through his grieving process.
Okay.
So it was since I can remember from toddler or infancy, he used to sleep on one side of the bed.
Wow.
So in my mind, he is, imagining himself sleeping next to his late wife. So when we had this conversation of me going to varsity and dads will try to lecture you what to do and not do and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
So I felt like that is the opportunity for me to ask. I was like, so Baba, indaba ubaba elala kwicala elilodwa embedeni. And that was the first time he broke down. He
Sure.
was like, mina kusalela undumi, which is my mom. Kusalela undumi eduze kwami. So angifuni ukusivala isikhala sakhe. And it explains the way he further explained how he felt that he needed to continue respecting her, by so doing respecting us as never to bring another woman in the house. So we've never been angifuni ukuqamba amanga babambe ayijolela ayibuyela ngo-10 angifuni ukuqamba amanga, but we've never had a woman inside the house. Because he always had this thing with into zakandumi lezi umuzi kandumi, So when I saw that man who's strong, who's served and blah 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 falling apart and explaining this fragile part of his life, and I'm like, this person still has a loss, and this is 18 years later. This person feels and trusts me enough with this information that he can tell me and fall apart in front of me. That is the day I started understanding that lo muntu lo uyangihlonipha to a point that he entrusts me with such sensitive information. Because the way he vented, because maybe age appropriate, he didn't feel like some things I was able to handle, but the day we spoke, I saw him so differently. I was like, Baba Bengaz, And then he explained to me his grief, like the things he has to go through when he walks through the door, like when he leaves the house, like how he feels like somebody's pulling his insides from him by leaving us behind, and he is just going to work by it, all those little things. And because you think this is a dad, he sends you around and he pats you on the shoulder when you do good and he gives you military hugs. That's as good as it gets,
Yeah.
But when he talked to me in that way, I was like, there's a human in there, not the strong, old, just I am this face brick person, I saw light in him, and I started to understand the little jabs he would throw. Ningayithinti kanje into zikantumi, ningenzi kanje uma wena bekanza kanje yabo. So I started to doubt everything. Was like flashbacks. Was this person the entire time? He was just honoring this person, and most of us may never find a love like that, but for me it wasn't. I'm just honoring her, but I'm doing it through you. So ngokuhlonipha yena ngihlonipha nina. Do you understand? Because I'm never gonna defile her home by bringing somebody else. Because this is ikhaya lenu ingane. Mina ngizophuma ngiyozenzela okwami le ngaphandle. And I do remember I do remember like my older sister had a conversation with him. Hasn't he considered taking another wife? And the feedback, because I was not in that conversation, the feedback I got from Unati, my older sister, was that he said he looked agekho wenza njengomuntu. So that was his trauma. So me having to understand trauma, and that trauma is a real thing, and how does that person handle it? Because he for me, it taught me conflict resolution skills, trauma resolution skills. It taught me how one manages, even in the face of hardship, of raising 4 children, because I'm the last born actually.
Sure.
Raising 4 children all by your own and not seeking the assistance of the usually required feminine energy in the house. It really opened my eyes. But that conversation when I was 18 for me, guys, I feel like that for me was the key to open that door of communication with him. Yes, my dad is still controlling. He'll go through my phone and blah blah blah, little things like that. But I feel like I don't need to hide anything from him, because for me, that one conversation we had, I feel like he opened the door for me to be like, Baba, ngilimele lana, I'm hurt. This person did 1, 2, 3 to me, and I don't feel shy to say that to my dad. And I can say I'm heartbroken. So what's been Konzile, this person, he disappointed me.
Okay, so I think.
Yeah, no. Hey. Yeah. Yeah, no. I didn't think I was gonna open Pandora's box, young. Hey.
I told you.
It's a lot.
I told you, sir.
Can we meet your dad?
I can leave it at this. Hey, no. Leave it here, chief.
We're not leaving it anywhere. We'll go as far as his bongs is willing to go. And just to speak on this before you continue his bongs, and I think if anything, and the response that you are seeing from Martin and Leroy, coming from a male perspective, it resonates in the level of respect that when you get to hear, think about this. Your dad was not it's not a person to speak one, and let alone emotions and things like that. But when you're having this conversation, you can see that this person had internalized, had this conversation with himself. He was interrogating all of these things, even though he was not speaking to anyone that we know of, but he was having these conversations with himself. He drew some conclusions, he came to some realizations, and he made decisions and stuck by them. And this is, for me, something that a lot of men could learn from. 2, we can appreciate, not to say we ought to do it in that particular manner, but it was at least to show that even if he did not speak, the conversation was happening within him, and he fortunately made also the right decisions and things like that. And for anything, the issue of respecting your mom and in turn respecting all of you and everything that your mom was part of, just I mean,
Yeah. Yeah, we learn our
you
parents'
you can
lessons.
continue. Before you continue though, I wanted to ask, is it only girls or there's a mixture of boys and girls with your
So there
siblings?
is two males who were twins before the successful firstborn,
Mm-hmm.
and then so the firstborn is a girl, and then
Mm-hmm.
another girl, and then my brother, and then me.
Okay. And in uh okay, continue speaking. I will.
What was I saying?
Oh no, okay, then let me ask this. So your siblings, are they married?
Yes,
All of them?
all of them.
Great.
One is late though.
Okay, no, I understand.
The
Sorry to hear
firstborn
that.
is late.
So this is just interesting. This is just interesting because now, obviously, the reason I'm asking the marriage and all of that is in your assessment, obviously, to the limit that you can do, is how do you see the impact of your father? By the way, it sounds like you said your mom passed when you were still very young.
So I think I was about 3 days old.
3 days. Oh, okay,
Yeah.
cool. So for about 30 something years, uh, your father has been, or your siblings, let me say, have not seen a mother and a father in the same household. So
Yeah,
I just want to hear in
like
terms of,
they had like a mom and dad for the longest time. I'm the only one who has been the statistic of having just one parent.
statistic. Okay.
I fall in the statistic, guys. Oh, mom said, "Laba bakhulisa ngama single parent." Yeah, I put my hand up in shame. The only one.
In your case,
I see.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what is your assessment? And it's great because the nuances are so many. But what is your assessment of perhaps their experience or what they took from their upbringing to how they, because obviously, like you were saying, we kind of model our parents as far as we allow ourselves to do, and particularly in marriages also, that is our sort of base. So in terms of that, what have you made an assessment in terms of the impacts? Because now you're having these conversations with your, or you're able to have these conversations with your dad. Have you looked at that, and what's your assessment of it?
I envy them. One, because I feel
Eh?
like they had a balanced life. I remember we went to family therapy, and obviously I was going on and on about me being the one who had a single parent. But I feel like they had like a well balanced life where,
Okay.
because I'll tell you now, my sisters are very femme. They like ladies. Sure, those
Okay.
people they, yeah,
Yeah.
and they're gorgeous in that. So they effortlessly do that, bona.
Okay.
Whereas me, I have to like copy bona
Mm.
and things like that. I feel like when they talk and they talk about parenting, they talk of a full circle. So they're talking about two different entities that made who they are. Whereas I only have one reference point. So when they talk about how we were raised, when like I'll tell you, like she will say, how we were raised is, and then she elaborates. You can see she's talking about two different parents that parented her and made her one big whole. And it's very wholesome to listen to that. And whereas for me, it's just I have one reference point. So I do envy my siblings in that regard, because they just a bit more balanced with me. I will, hence the tantrums of just walking out and not being so emotionally in tune with self and having to cultivate that over the years. Whereas
Sure.
with them, even this thing of self-regulating, I was talking to Uzi the other day, and she had to like keep going over and over the same topic with me for me to kind of get what she means, you know, because nokungala yebo lento le. It's
Yeah.
ngiyangala first. So she was talking about we need to learn how to control the vibration of that emotion that is called anger, the one that is called disgust and blah blah. It helps that she trained to be a therapist and all of
Okay.
that.
That's
But,
great.
I mean, we needed a shrink in the family. I'm the one who's nuts. So that's that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Okay.
yeah, it's a little bit. I envy them more than anything because I don't know who this person they're talking about. Whenever they talk about mom, I don't know who they're talking about. I have to make her up in my head. I have to create an image and like make her come alive. Imagine the things she would say to me. Imagine what she would tell me to do at this point. You know, little things like that. And as a
Yeah.
30-something-year-old, you would think one has mastered that, but I guess you're always somebody's baby, for
True.
no matter how old you are.
Definitely. But then, did you not experience, or because I'm just thinking of the dynamics in that space. Your siblings would obviously be older than you, and they would understand some of the things that you're going through, and with the obvious not having your mom around, then they might want to, and we get this in any case, even when the parents are there, having older siblings as deputy parents, so to put it. So, so
My siblings are not perfect. They did bully me a bit.
yeah,
If anybody's listening to this, I'm sorry, guys. I will apologize at Christmas. Yeah, they did bully me, and
yeah,
especially the older one, the firstborn. She always had this mom authority over me,
mm,
and you know, rebelling, knowing that I don't have one, I would like push back on anything or any instruction that was life altering to me that she would give to me. You know, like you're not gonna tell me what to study. You're not my mom. You know, like if it's not coming from my dad or from my teachers, you do not get to, like, we had that pull and push kind of relationship because she always felt, and like my dad, him not being perfect, always felt like he could just give that authority to her, and I hated that about her, the fact that she felt like she could tell me what to do. Because I always, you know, you're dealing with your own anger issues of you're not my mom, you're not my mom. And this person has been given this authority by your primary caregiver, who's your dad,
sure,
and you're just like, but you're my sibling. I'm supposed to yell at you when I'm angry at you. You're not my mom. You know, so little things like that. So
yeah,
because I mean, no family is perfect. So those
yes,
are
definitely.
things.
Definitely. So for now, in this case, similar to your dad, that assessment now of looking at your sister and what she was trying to do, because I would assume, yeah, I can imagine also she was then trying to give you also that motherly figure, because fortunately you were not just born in a family of boys only. So they could have played the role of, a female figure in your life. So do you look at that and see at least its impact on you and how it was positive towards you?
Okay, again with my older sister, it was.
She's catching strays today.
I'm catching strays, literally. So it was always her putting me in ponytails, and I wanted it to stop. It was always her making me dress in a skirt, and I wanted to wear ikri schooling. It was always her trying to make me into something I'm uncomfortable with. You understand? And I guess that is the way she was. I don't know. Trying to be a mom to me, but it doesn't mean change who I am, because in my mind, my dad lets me be who I am. Why can't you? you're always trying to change me. You understand? So my biggest struggle in life has always been my older sister, because it's always been a pull and push kind of relationship. And I'm
Yeah.
thinking, would this be how it would have been with my mom? If this is it, no thanks. I feel like the sad part is I haven't met, and I pray to God that I still get an opportunity to meet women who have healthy relationships with their moms. I haven't met one, and I'm just trying to attract that energy, because the girls I'm friends with, they don't have great things to say about their moms. And I understand that it's mostly trauma, maybe them having to do the job alone. But I'm just thinking, did I really miss out on anything? You know? And then looking at the relationship I had with my older sister, you know, so little things like that. I guess I'm trying to console myself in my own stupid way.
Yeah.
It's just because guys, I'm so not perfect. So I do have those little ignorances in my head.
Definitely.
That I don't think I missed out.
Yeah.
But
And
there are deficiencies in me.
true.
that I-
Last question, and I think I noted Leroy's hand, and then Martin has a question, and I think Dumelo, we will address your question a little bit later.
Paul, can I please be my friend? I want to learn what having a good mom looks like. Can we
I
please
was
be
also gonna
friends?
say that I have someone in mind for you also, who can definitely help you. So I will give you a bit of that synopsis a bit later. So what was I gonna say, Kunj? Oh yes. So in terms of I don't know if I don't remember the exact words that you used, but
Yeah.
what do you think is the importance for you, or it is important to you, to seek or to meet someone, females who have had great relationships with their moms? What do you think that will, I don't know, give you or afford you, or whatever the case may be? And yeah, after that, you can answer that, and I'll give the guys their opportunity there.
So it's having to learn how that relationship, like if you tell your mom something, how does she react? Like her face. Like how does she blink her eyes if it's something shocking, you know?
Yeah.
Those little gestures, because I look out for that. Like when she talks to you, do you actually trust the information?
Right. I think she might have received a call. We'll wait until she comes back. Oh, you back, Sis Bounce?
Yes.
Okay, yes,
I
continue.
got a message. So it's like if you tell your mom something, or when she tells you something, do you actually trust her? Because in my experience, the people that I'm around, they don't actually trust their moms with their finances, with giving them relationship advice, because case in point, they are single moms, and it's that condescending, toxic of you couldn't keep a husband, or you couldn't keep a relationship, blah blah blah, and now you're trying to tell me how to run my life, and blah. I would like to, because I'm definitely sure there are people with healthy relationships out there. I just haven't been exposed to one where I'm not asking for perfect, but one which is healthy.
Definitely. All right. Got you. And yeah, I'm married to a woman who was raised by a single mom. And they have the most beautiful relationship. I envy it myself. And yeah, so this is the person I was talking about. So I can definitely tell you a lot of.
Hook me up.
So don't worry. I'll definitely hook you
Especially
up.
around the issue of finances. A lot of people just don't trust their moms with their money. What is up with that, guys? Like,
Hey, you will learn.
mom is
You,
doing.
it started when you were young, you borrow the money, and then when you want them back, they're like, hey, 9 months in my womb, buena.
Yeah,
So,
and
good
you
job.
lived rent free with nutrients.
Good job. So that is the case. Leroy, you had your hand up, sir.
No, like I wanted to highlight, I was like,
We're struggling to hear you, sir. I don't know, you are muffled.
No, so
There we go.
no, like Nekere, like I wanted to highlight Tumelo's question. It's like sharp.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
No, it's fine. We will come to it. It was answered, but we'll deal with it a bit later. That's cool. Dr. Martin?
I had a question regarding women and their relationships with their mothers. But it's obviously not directed to cis bongs, but I'm still trying to find the appropriate words to ask this question because I don't want a situation where the conversation goes haywire. So maybe I'll ask it at a later stage, or I'll forever hold my peace.
I would say ask it, and I will try and beautify it for you. They will excuse you for that.
Okay, my good man.
I got you.
Yeah.
Let's go.
So the question is, obviously the relationship between a girl and her mother is it's important, number one. There's a lot of teachings and there's a lot of wisdom that is passed down from mother to child and etc etc etc. So obviously in most cases, excluding cis bongs, women who have a quite a complicated or a very toxic relationship with their mothers, they often tend to struggle a lot in relationships, especially when dealing with the other gender. So, you see, I'm not getting to the crux of my question. I'll come back.
No. Ask it. I told you I got your back. When I just asked the question.
The thing, okay. What's this thing?
Yes.
Obviously, we often say, for a man, it's important for him to have a relationship with his father, and vice versa for a woman. But in the situation where the relationship is toxic, where is the point of reference of being a woman or being a man going to come from? Yes, we do say, have male figures, your uncles and so on and so forth. But I think the influence, not the influence, the wisdom, the teachings that you're going to get from somebody that is that close to you, like father-wise, mother-wise, is going to be so much different compared to somebody who's somewhat distant from you. So that is my question.
Okay, so let me do my job now. Thank you, sir, for that question. So, to nicely deliver this one, so basically, as a question directed to females, how do you navigate your relationships, particularly in your view and address towards a male figure, when either perhaps you were not raised with a male figure around, or you were, still there was a male figure, but then because of your tinted relationship perhaps with your mom, you didn't get certain aspects per se in your upbringing that would facilitate perhaps what we would call positive vibes and characteristics from a female standpoint, such that you then have the so-called healthy relationships and a healthy view towards men. How did I do on that day, Martin?
That is on par.
Females come up clear. I need help.
This one is not directed to you, Veles' Bongs. This one I think is mostly directed to the rest of the females here, because I think for the most part, in the last couple of weeks on the panel, we've been talking a lot about men and their relationship with women, etc., etc. But we don't necessarily get to have a female's perspective in terms of her relationships versus a relationship between her and the mother and her relationship with the father, kind of a thing. But in most cases, the fathers are not necessarily in the picture, so they can't necessarily pick up that conversation or take part in that kind of a conversation. So I'd just like to hear from the females, or what is your take? What is your view on this? Thank you.
All right. So we have one comment already there from Nam Nam, and Kunzmalanga is coming on the panel, and we will hear proper. Sis P.
Hey, how are you?
We are here. We are living. How are you,
I'm
Mom, in this
good.
December?
Hey, bona, re hangover your weekend. We are still babalast.
All right, Mama, come through.
Dr. Martin, we have a new Martin in the house.
Wabona.
Yay.
The question is just by the change of the name.
Relationships with daughters and mothers, guys. I don't think it's a black and white thing like that, like daughters and mothers, fathers and sons. I think there would always be that one parent whom your character aligns with. Ne? So I think it took me a while to understand that with my own mother, that we are not close because we don't have the same beliefs. We don't have the same character. We don't. Do you understand? And as time went on, I was very angry at her, but I couldn't label her a toxic mother or what, because she wasn't. She did everything she could for me, and I saw her struggle with me, but I just never had that click with her. Do you understand? And it just didn't make sense to me when I meet my other friends. They're like, my mom is my everything. I'm like, but, and she didn't hate me. She was a normal mother who would do anything for her daughter. I later, I think as time went on, I just realized that we don't have the same personalities. And the reason why I'm saying I'm glad I was never close with her like that is because I see with my other siblings that she was very close with, how they came out. It to me, it's somehow they are a bit weak, and it's sad because they are men. And with me, who was more closer to my father, I've realized that I learned my father has this character of I can do everything for myself, ne? And if I do not manage to do it or I can't do it, I must learn to be okay without having it. I must never rely on anyone for anything, and nobody owes me anything. So if there's help, I appreciate it. If there's no help, I do not expect it from anyone. I don't hold grudges against anyone. And I see that's my mother's thing. She still has grudges from when her sister years back didn't do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for her, and today now things are turning, those scratches that she was like this towards me, and now the grandchildren are showing her flame. Same thing I was experiencing. I'm like, but why are you even there? It happened years ago. Why are you even there? I mean, you had your problems, you dealt with them the way you best knew how. Nobody owes you assistance. Do you understand? So I feel had I leaned towards trying to have a relationship with her, I would have turned out to be that kind of person who expects people to be there and rescue me, and when I don't have something, I'd be bothered to an extent that anyone who doesn't want to assist me, I'll be so angry at. My father taught me that if you do not have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, even today, that's why at my house I have a garden. If you don't have money for meat, at least if you grow your own spinach, you will not go hungry. And nobody can point to you when you're walking out there that this one did not have meat, because you'll be full, you'll be nourished. So that's one very valuable lesson I learned from my father, that always be your plan A and B, and what you don't have, learn to be okay with, because now o tlo fetoga le kgobala batho, because o batla dilo tse o sa di kgoneng, o sa di fitlheleleng, o sa di afford. Do you understand? So I love her, but for the kind of person that I am, I'm glad we were not close. I don't hate her at all. She is just the parent I couldn't align with.
Wow. What a perspective. What a perspective.
So Martin, it's not mother, father, and mother, daughter, and son and father.
Yeah.
It's just personalities.
Okay, Martin, you have a question. I'm assuming it's to us, Palesa, yes?
Yes, it's not necessarily a question. Yeah, but she has given a interesting perspective. Flip, I just lost my trail of thought.
Sorry.
Yabona.
Askies.
Because yes, like you said, at the end of the day, you like as children, you often gravitate, to more, especially the parent who's got more or less the same character as you do. Oh yeah, my question was going to be the same question that I addressed not addressed, that I asked to Sis Bongs regarding the fact that you have more of your dad's character. Does this mean, Hore, you are more in touch with your masculine side? And if that's the case, how is your relationship with my gender part? It's fine. You don't have to answer that. Moving on.
No, not at all. I'm not masculine. I am a girly girl. I like to be nice and put on my makeup and smell good. And yeah, maybe it does have some effect on my relationship with the other gender. I don't know how to be that humble. I will humble myself enough, but I feel to a certain point now you are just asking me to bend backwards, and I will just not, I'm not scared to walk away. I will not compromise myself no matter what. So yeah, I think it does have that effect of me having a bit of stubbornness and this submissive thing that gets thrown around. I'm not even bothered about it because I know I can never submit 100% towards anyone like that. You're not my God.
Last question, Sis Palesa. So you just addressed your relationship with my gender.
Yeah.
How is your relationship towards your fellow female counterparts, if that's the case?
I don't understand them.
Martin is shooting. Martin is shooting today. So
Like
if
this Friday we
maybe
had
to
we had
to
a Christmas.
clarify
I
to
don't.
try and clarify what he was asking. So in your so for instance, with what you have just described with your mom and all of that, how is your relationship with other females, be it friends, be it even your siblings or whoever, in terms of them? I don't want to say having a similar or a certain displaying certain traits of your mom. I don't want to put it there because obviously I think you will react the same. But in a sense that, is there certain things when you look at females and how they behave and how they act, and you probably look at them with the eyes of your father and it's like, why are you behaving like this?
Definitely, all the time, all the time. I I don't know, because maybe with also the choice of field of work that I did, I was just mostly surrounded by men. Colleagues were men, everyone was men around me. And then there's those little things that I just can't tolerate with women. Like for instance, this Friday we had a year-end function, and there was common transport because we were going to a destination a bit far. And these ladies were like, yeah, we can be ladies in our own kumbi. And the guys will be, I was like, hell no, count me out. One, I know that kumbi is leaving late because one will turn around, go and look for water. You guys are just not organized. I am not, because I'll be so frustrated. I will not be happy the rest of the day. Then there will be with female friends that I have. I don't understand this. I feel, okay, just my opinion, women are strong. We are strong human beings. But they've got this thing of whenever they don't have their way, they like playing victim. I just never got that thing. I don't believe if I'm losing at something, then I need to claim this weak side. I am a strong person who failed. Do you understand? And I stand by my fail and I take it with pride. So maybe it's just my thinking. I could be very wrong with that, but I just don't understand this victim mentality that women like. I feel failure is also okay. It's part of a lesson. And do you understand? I don't want to be rescued or helped. I feel I will learn and do it better next time. So this victim mentality that pops up whenever they want to, I just never get that. So in turn, I have female friends, but when you meet my female friends, you can tell this is Palisa's friend because they're exactly like me. There's a friend of mine, her name is also Palisa. She will tell you, Bona, whatever situation, I know if I can stand and you are by my side, there's nothing that can stop us. Do you understand? So I feel I gravitate towards women with a character like mine as well. You understand?
I had a follow-up question for you, Auspalesa, but it's fine. I think I'll ask this question for all the ladies in this panel at the end.
So please don't forget it. Write it down, Martin. Please.
I'll write it down.
Okay, all right.
Thank you so much, Ispali. Let's give other people an opportunity. No, I don't know if you can hear us. Come back to the live. It's your opportunity, Mama.
Hello, how are you?
I'm right, yourself.
I'm good, thank you. This is the last time I'm sharing on this live because I feel like I overshare now.
No,
So,
no, never.
So it's
Come
the
on.
last time.
No, people, you know what I've kind of also learned here, just a little bit. People are busy ngamaphilo abo. What you tell, if most people hear what they're gonna hear what you say, by tomorrow they've forgotten you because banama problem wabo. So don't stress yourself.
I hope so. So,
Yes.
Mina, I grew up with a very, very strict mother. My mom she's a caregiver, she's wonderful. You know, she's one of the best people ever, but she is very strict to mama. My mom is one of, I remember when Ankape Varsity for the first time, she said to me, "You better not come back with a crying degree." That's number one. And then
With a what degree?
A crying degree. Umntwana.
Okay.
So,
Yeah.
so I grew up as that girl who was always around where my mom could see me, I had to be at face view with her. Like, if in ngaphandle, makahlola, I had to make sure that she can see me. And, she was very strict. She didn't want me to, be with boys. And then when my friends started dating at high school, she made sure that friendship ends immediately. And bengumuntu wasemakhaya ohlala endlini all the time listening to music with her. And then when I went to varsity, she was very scared ukuthi she might come out of a shell and stuff, but I did not. I remember I remember this other guy I had a crush on. He kissed me at school during a Valentine's Day ball. And when he touched my boob, the first person I could think of is my mom. And I was like, let go of me. Don't you ever, ever do that. That's why it took me so long to even date. I started dating when I was working. When I started working, I was old. So, yeah, I'm a late bloomer like Osabs. So
Yeah.
with the other gender, I've always had these walls up. Like, that's why I'm so strict when it comes to, making sure that I don't have a child out of wedlock or wanting children or, marriage and stuff and all of those things. And, I can be very stubborn at times. But then when I met my last partner, I talk about him a lot because, there's still those feelings there. When I met him, his mom and my mom are kind of similar.
Okay.
His mom is very strict. His mom shouts. My mom shouts is very strict as well. So the first thing that he said to me, because my mom is a very outspoken person, the first thing that he said to me when we had our first fight, he said, "You don't shout. We sit down. You don't sleep. See, aslali sikwateleni, because it's not gonna. That's not how I want to live my life." And he shared Guti how his mother was, and I shared how my mom was as well. So it was a little bit of a stretch to meet a partner like him where when I was angry, I cannot throw my toys at him. I had to just, calm down, talk to him, listen, not interrupt him. Because when you interrupt him, that guy was something else. So, and you interrupt him, his train of thought is lost, like for good. So, and then he gets really frustrated. So I had to, learn to sit down with him, learn to, whenever he says something, I had to listen. Singalali squateleni, because he would wake me in the middle of the night and say, "Asicedanga ukukhuluma." So let's talk before ulala, awulali la usakwatile and stuff like that. So growing up with umamam like that, even with my other friends, I'm gonna just answer a question yaga Martin. My friends know which boundaries not to cross with me. There's stuff that I'm not going to do with them. There's things that I will never even do for family members because when I'm set on that, I'm set on it, and you cannot change my mind otherwise. So yeah, my mom is, and luckily my sperm donor passed away when I was young, so I didn't have to grow up with that guy around me because he was very abusive to his other family. So I'm glad that I didn't have to experience that, because when I meet my sister, We talk about our sperm donor. She, you know, the stories that she could tell me, they were very scary, that he was not a nice guy, you know. So I'm glad that he passed away. So that father figure, I mean, the only father figure I know is my uncle, who is amazing, who's a sweetheart actually. So never really struggled. I mean, when I love you, I will love the hell out of you, and you will, you know, I can girlfriend, and I like saying that because you know, when I'm in relationships, I will take care of you. I won't, you know, you won't struggle with me unless you want the other things that I do not want. Then the problem starts there. But everything else, I don't think I'll, you know, I have bad stories to tell about the other gender. So yeah, that's my story.
That's why they wanna marry you, no. You love the hell out of them. That's why. That's why your problem is.
Yeah, that's my
But
problem.
don't
Maybe
change that
slowly but
problem. It's
surely.
fine.
No, I won't. Yeah, you can ask this bones.
Yes, please.
I just have a question, I guess, for everybody who has been raised by a single parent. Guys, do you not suffer from something called being emotionally unavailable? Because I find it that, or is it just me, where you attract people who are clingy and you just can't offer like everything that they want, because I'm not gonna be the type to call 3 times a day. Are they clingy, or is there something wrong with me?
Another can of
Sometimes
worms. Before we go there, can I please afford Osby Dumelo an opportunity to speak on the matter at
Okay,
hand?
cool.
Then we can drive
Then we
that
can
one.
go there.
Please hold on
Cool,
that
cool.
one, Sis Bongs, and we'll get there. Bitumel,
Hi everyone.
how you doing, ma'am?
Kisia Melina.
No, Rishab. Thank you for your patience. You've been waiting for a long time. Lakaton.
Yeah, so not to emphasize with this relationship thing, ne?
Mm.
Well, political orphanage. So I had no mom, I had no dad, I had no brother or sister to guide me on how to deal when you see a guy and all of that. The only thing my mature taught me is that boys before books they bring babies. So So I was scared of dating guys. I was scared of men actually. And when I saw a male figure, I saw how this one is gonna bring babies into me and my life is gonna stop. So literally when I got my first period, I was 19 at varsity already. And then I was told, "Hore, now that you are on your period, you must know hore mosimane a lokela is getting a baby." Another red flag for me to run more from boys, you know.
Yeah.
But as much as I turned 21, I started attending church. And then at church, that's where they taught us, they had this session, about mother and daughter. If you don't have a father, even if you're a girl, there's sessions that do, like they groom us to being the person that we would want to be when we grow up and when we face challenges. Or if you would meet someone in a relationship, or how do you behave? Because I'm one person who just keeps quiet for no reason. I don't know how to communicate. I don't even have kids. Like it's too much for me. It's too much. So now that I met my late husband, we got married, and he taught me how to behave, how to talk, how to address things and all of that. And I can easily say church actually helped me to be the person that I am today.
Wow.
Otherwise, nkabe ke ntse ke le lepara even now. I'd still be lepara la ngwanyana ke sa itse gore ke ya kae and what's not. So
Wow.
yeah, I became a widow at 25. I was very young. I was very young. I became a widow at 25, and I had to lose my matrimonial home. The time I own about that, you know nothing about these things. You know, there's no one who can advise you. And now we gonna, you know what? Let me just leave these things before I die. Things that I can still buy for myself and replace. So go have my late husband. They didn't like me because I was that person who came along. We planned this. You're not giving your mom 20,000 this month because we planned this. So you can't say your mom is now 20,000 now. So we have to balance for it, what our kids for the year. So they hated me
Sure.
for that, and they wanted ex-girlfriend for him, and he wasn't giving them that. So after Tokofal, I had to struggle, guys, from
Sure.
starting from zero, staying in a one-room shack with a huge stomach and another one who is only 2 years old. Like, it was too much, but because the church groomed me, I told the church, and it groomed me, and no, I don't. She's bonkers. I don't.
Yo, the speed of that response.
No, she did not stutter. She did not need a second to think
No
about it.
hesitation.
Let me tell you something. I'm epileptic, yeah? So sometimes I thank God for my epilepsy, because when I choose to forget things, I forget them.
Sure.
Regardless of what they've done to me, I chose my peace, and for myself to not have triggers every now and then to end up in an ICU because of people who don't know what they want from me. Okay, they took the house away from me, they took the cars, they took the businesses from me, and I had to start all over from nothing with no one.
Yeah.
So now I can say, Sis Bongs, as much as you saying you want a mother figure, something, I'm not forcing you to go to church, but I think also that's where you can build that relationship to learn other female things that you've never known of. Like when I was 19, when I got my first period, I was crying. I thought I was dying, guys. I didn't know what was going on. And then at least someone groomed me and told me this happens, women. Like, when someone makes you mad, for you to not have triggers, this is what you must do, you know? Because I have no one. Like, I was literally by myself. Khale khale, dinakong tseo tsa bogologolo at an orphanage, you
Yeah.
were only getting adopted because of numbers. If they put you go number 30, it means you are number last. And
Yo.
and worst part now is because I'm epileptic. So I was a one person that they don't want to get involved with, because back then only white people understood what is epilepsy. But black people, and you are what, and you are what,
Yeah.
and whatsoever, which was not there.
Mm.
And also, I'm grateful for that, because I've learned one thing: I cannot force relationships with anyone. It groomed me to knowing that you cannot force any sort of relationship, and you can also be able to stand on your own and rely on yourself, by not just thinking, well, everyone's got your back, but you have to have your own back.
Sure.
And then when I met with my late husband, guys, that guy, he was heavenly sent. He was heavenly sent, because he
Literal.
understood my yes, he understood my background, and he never judged me for who I was and where I come from, but he accepted me and groomed me to being the woman that I am today.
I know.
Yeah.
That's proper. Salute to him. And out of interest, are you in a relationship? Are you even considering getting married again? Are you married? And things like that, if you don't mind me asking.
I wish to get married again. Like,
Okay.
it's one thing that I've always prayed for. Like, I long for a proper family, which is something I've never had. Okay, my kids did that, but God decided the other way around about it. So it's something, and I wish to have more kids. Like, I want like 16 kids or 10 kids, you know? Because
Ma'am,
I'm
you are
not
Did
in
I
the
hear
wrong
that number
country.
correctly? She said 16, 16.
yeah,
1-6,
one
ma'am.
six, 10
You are in the wrong
times
country. Wrong
She does
country.
not know Ramaphosa's economy.
And I'm saying this because I've in the past couple of months I've been looking at different cultures and the work that I've been doing, getting to meet different people from different countries, and you see how obviously how South Africa is lacking, but equally so how it is great in certain things. but you then begin to also see that the country that you are in also determines how you the type of dreams you can fulfill in that particular place. So wanting to have so many kids, for instance, is not an ideal thing in South Africa. But you go to European countries, you go to some of the Asian countries, that is something that is well supported. I was speaking to someone, she's in Slovene, and she was just saying that she is working so hard, she's educated and all of that, but currently in her country there is people opt not to work because of the social system in their country. When you don't work, you will get, and you have kids, you will even get more favor or more bonuses for the fact that you have more than 3 kids. So the state will take care of your kids. Your kids will go to kindergarten. You will have free, what they call this, medical insurance and all of that. And on top of that, you can even go and work. They call it in the black. Basically doing jobs where you don't necessarily, is not a formal employment. Let's say, for instance, you decide to be a nail tech, but you're doing it from your own house. So you can still be supported by the government while you're also getting some form of income, and then that is fine. So in countries like that, the system allows you and supports you to have kids. The more kids you have, the more support you're going to get, and things like that. Offense.
Okay. Let me indulge in that. It's not for I cannot afford having more kids. Financially, I'm okay. Like I'm good.
Good.
I'm good. The only scary part is what kind of a partner am I gonna have kids with?
Yeah.
You know, is he ready? Like I've always said to myself, rather let me be in a blended family situation than having someone who has no experience at all about kids, and then I'm like my third child who is born, to me doesn't make sense at all. So
Yeah.
I'm weird like that, guys. I'm weird like that. So
I
yeah,
understand.
I'd rather be in a blended family situation because I believe in it and it does exist. For me, it does exist. I don't know about other things. Yeah, I prefer that than financially get sharp, like I'm sorted. It's just that when you meet someone and then you tell them, oh, this is me, this is what I am. When you say epilepsy, people they run. People are so uneducated. They are so uneducated and misinformed. When
Yeah.
I literally mention that I'm epileptic, they think, we can't. There's some guy who I once went on a first date with, and because I'm not supposed to be too excited about such things, I was too excited about it, and I got seizures at the restaurant. Nigga ran. He ran.
Ha awena.
Ngwana batho o thabile and sia mo le ke le one. Wa tlhaloganya gore how bad it is with our black brothers that they're
Yeah.
not informed. They are not so informed about everything. So, but I'm okay. Should I get a guy? I think I will get a guy, but not now. I don't know when. Only God knows. Guys.
Do you mind asking how old you are?
I'm 31.
Ah, you are fine. You will definitely meet. Maybe some of them might just be here. You don't know. Some of them might just be in this life. So have your DMs there open. Eh?
But they must know I'm scared of hunger.
Which hunger?
Financially and all that kind of hungers. Hey, guys,
Okay.
I come from this. I don't want to go back there.
I hear you. I hear you. Now, we need to. Ow, Muzi Batu. Ow, Muzi. Stick around. You will get what's happening. It's not what you think it is. So.
Nothing paid, you guys. Nothing paid.
So yeah, stick around. So thank you so much for that, Sis Bitumel. And I think we listen, wabana subs open your DMs. Subs knows the importance of having DMs open. So please have your DMs open, and you will find people. Don't worry about that. So yes, Sis Bongs, you have a question?
I have a question for Wade. So, what type of epilepsy do you have, and do you always like disclose on the first date or
Okay.
before the actual date?
I actually disclose when you try to shoot your shot.
When you
I
try to?
disclose. When you try to shoot your shot with me or asking for my numbers and you say you wanna take me out on a date or you'd like us to go out for a night, I let you know immediately. Oh, this is my situation.
Yeah. And do you find that people actually look at you differently?
They
Or
always
is
do.
it just normal after that?
They always do. They always do. Like they judge me from just letting them know that I'm epileptic. I just get judged, and the guy will just go AWOL from me, you know.
Yeah.
And then and
And
with
most
my
especially if
kind of
you said you were excited, and did you have like tonic-clonic seizures, or was it just a matter of you collapsing and
no, I
actually
had
having the
seizures.
seizure?
I had seizures. I had to be admitted. Like it
Yeah,
went
so
that
you're
far that I
tonic-clonic. Okay.
yeah. So with my epilepsy, I don't know what like the easiest way to say what kind of type is it. I had two brain tumors, right?
Yeah.
They only removed one because the other one, if they remove it, I would never function.
Yeah. So there's just two types. So it's tonic-clonic and then TLE. So the one that happens on the one side of the brain, one lobe, and then the two where both spheres of the brain are vibrating. So you do the shakes, as we
Yes,
call
and
it.
I bite
So
myself.
yes, you vibrate. So when you
Mm.
have that, so what I think I find with epilepsy, it's such a sad stigma, is that people immediately see you as disabled the minute you disclose that yes, it is a disability, but yeah, people usually just change.
Tell you something funny. My when I got to a point where my specialist said I must get SASA grant for disability.
You should be getting one.
I'm not.
That's just the law.
The doctor
You
from
should be
SASA
getting that.
rejected.
Medically, you should be getting that because it is a actual registered disability. But what I find is that people always think that you are impaired in terms of your thinking skills. The minute you
Government.
disclose that, yes, they
Look
change
at
like
you.
how they talk to you. They
Oh,
start talking
no, no.
slower.
Listen, I mean, listen now.
You know, they start thinking like imagine to
Oh,
look
no,
and it's very uncomfortable. So I wouldn't necessarily disclose that on the first date, but it's like a lot of things in my opinion. You shouldn't be disclosing that on the first, because one, you actually have to figure out if you actually like the person as a human being before you like them as a boyfriend or girlfriend. So you going around and making yourself vulnerable like that, and putting yourself out for rejection
I'm
and
sorry,
all of
I was
those
a bit
things.
distracted. I was a bit distracted by my nosy colleague. Offense. So now answer offense's question. Offense, kgang ke gore, if I don't disclose to you and it happens that I get seizures, now it's a red flag, another red flag. Corey, you do not know this is gonna happen, you know. At least if I let you know, you're gonna go and do your investigations before we even go on a date. You'll find out, oh, what should this
Do you
happen,
find
what
that
I
people
should do
actually
then.
do that? Wait, Jamila, they care enough to actually go research how do I handle a person who's epileptic?
The last guy I saw, the last guy I went on a date with, and unfortunately he had to go overseas. No, he had to go overseas, so we couldn't keep on dating. He did that. He was that considerate, and I was shocked because he's a black guy. He
Okay.
did and made research and actually told me, oh, now I know. Should even when we are doing the dates, should that happen to you, now I know how to handle the whole situation than running away and being scared. You know, yeah.
Wait. Whoa. Are we saying it can happen during the deed?
Yes,
Yes.
yes.
Anytime, actually, especially if she's not on a stronger dose or she's
I'm
just
actually on
having
800
something
minutes.
that aggravates her or excites
I'm
her too
actually
much because
working
adrenaline
800.
is the driver.
Wait a minute. Sis Bongs, I think you don't get to hear when someone is speaking. Probably it's because of your mic and whatnot. So,
Is it? Okay.
yeah, now y'all are speaking at the same time. So
Oh, sorry.
okay, I'll direct. Yes, Sis Bitumelo?
Yes, my medication dose is 1.6. So I drink 800 in the morning, 800 at night. That's how bad it is. But right now it's under control because I'm seeing the best doctors now rather than being in a public hospital where they make you a gynae, like they test everything with you.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Subs, I think you had a hand up, and I'm noting a comment by Tumelo. We'll get to you also that one because I want to get into that. Sabelo, are you here? Okay, Sabelo is not here for now. Offense. Oh, sorry, Muzi. I think you came up first. Do you have a question, or you still want to chill in the panel to just hear where the direction of the conversation is going? Muzi.
Good day, everyone. Am I
Muzi.
audible enough? Yes, can you hear me?
How are you?
I'm good, and you,
Yes,
sir?
you are, sir.
Oh, thank you, thank you.
I'm
No,
very well,
actually,
thanks. How you doing? Thank you
I was
for
passing by
coming
you.
in,
No, I was just.
following, and getting onto the panel.
Yeah,
Congratulations.
thank you so much. I appreciate it. You're so kind. No, I'm saying I was just passing by, and then I heard Buitumelo speaking about
Yeah.
our black guys, and I'm like, oh my God, what did we do again? Poor black guys, you know? So I wanted, then it just, it
Yeah.
just piqued my curiosity and piqued my brains, and I thought maybe I should, as
Yeah.
on behalf of myself, not of black guys. I'm not representing any black guys. I'm representing myself. Yeah, as a black guy, is to
Mm.
say, between Madam emotions do not have color. They have a pattern based on what we have seen or what we have experienced. So I don't want us to pull this or to lower it down to even a race, but also to also help Osbitumelo with so much care for her, with so much love for her, to say maybe the problem is not the guys who are running away. Perhaps the approach that you come with to the relationship or to the date or to the, but yes, to this potential relationship, it's already from it's already from a negative mindset and energy. You are expecting bad things to happen based
How
on how you
so?
perceive yourself. You
What
see
they
yourself
do,
first of all in this relationship as lagging. You already bring
Sis
to the
Bitumelo, let's just let him speak. Let's just let him speak, and then you will respond if you don't mind. Yeah. Thank you kindly. Continue, Muzi.
no, yes, I'm sorry about that, but I was saying,
Muzi.
like, I feel like Osbitumelo needs to deal with this epileptic issue that she has, because it's a serious health issue, and her disclosing it early is her taking care of herself, to say, in case, like she explained, in case this happens, let the guy know. But she should not approach it from the level of, I have a weakness, because of when you approach
Okay.
remember, this person comes to know this person. When you introduce or sell anything, you will never sell the bad things of it. The first moment the customer walks in the shop, you say, you know, this TV,
Okay.
o ska ba atumela e tlo ha le ruri fela le shapa la ko Limpopo ya go thubega TV na. You don't say that. You, even though this product may have whatever side effects or whatever bad qualities of it, but you sell the product based on the benefits that the person can get. When you are comfortable with this person, is convinced about the benefits that he is getting from me, you are able to, because of this is very important to her, you know, but she should not take it as a weakness, her weakness. She needs to pass that perception ya higher, I'm epileptic Buitumelo who wants to be in a relationship. She must come as a whole.
Okay.
She must be Boitumelo as a whole, with her imperfections and with her perfections, and let the person who is watching be the one who chooses and pick which perfections and imperfections I can live with. Because in any relationship, there are people who are dealing with more than epileptic issues and serious issues, you know. But come to a relationship, come into a relationship with an open mind to learn to. That's why the relationship becomes nice when I discover you. That process of discovering each other, this person who is mysterious, those layers of onion. When I see them, I become excited. And some of the things, when I see them the first time, they might not really excite me. So don't only expect to be in a relationship where all the discoveries about you should be pleasing to the next person, because you'll not know what that person is also having. That is my angle. Let
All
me not
right.
take longer.
Not a problem. Thank you so much.
Yes. Thank
And
you. That was my 2 cents.
before, yes. Yes. Since Vitumelo, hold it. Hold it, since Vitumelo, hold it. Let me do this first. Let me do this. You will speak. You will speak. So, Muzi, I appreciate your perspective, and I think like you said, you heard what you heard at first, and you're like, whoa, what did the Black Brothers do? And I think you came in already, if I could say, in a defense mode, to stand for the brothers, and that genuinely was not the conversation. And the perspective that you're equally bringing in, what Sis Bitumelo is talking about, is slightly off a tangent, because some of the things that you said, or your assumption in your speech right now, was based on something she didn't communicate, and that now becomes a bit unwarranted in that case. Even though I'm saying that your opinion I hear where you're coming from. Unfortunately, in this particular instance, in this conversation, it's not the one. It's not the one. And so I don't necessarily, Sis Bitumelo, that I don't think you need to defend yourself, but I'm still gonna give you an opportunity to speak, because equally so, it is so that you can bring clarity, obviously, from where you're coming from. And I think also towards Muzi, everyone has their own, obviously, perspective in how they look at these things. And it's not necessarily coming from a point of weakness, per se, in as much as you might view it as that. However, she has her reasons, and she was yet coming to explain to us why she approaches things the way they are. So welcome to the community nonetheless. You will get to learn how our conversations are going and how we take them through, but we really appreciate you still stay in the panel, and I will give Sis Bitumelo, and I think we'll still go to Offense Subs. I see you are here. Keep your hand there. So Sis Bitumelo, come through, ma'am.
Oh yes, I know I'm calm. I was coming for his head, hey?
I know you are coming, so that's why I said let me do this. Let me do this a little bit. So yes, continue.
Yeah, so I think he
You
heard
can
half of
go
what I
through
was
this
saying.
Bitumelo, yes.
Yeah, he heard half of what I was saying,
Yes.
and he came with attack mode.
Yes.
Attack. But Ramu
Yeah.
try and
Thank you.
yeah.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that, Ms. Bitumel. I think you can if you still have your trail of thought, you can continue, and yeah, then we will. I don't know if Sis Bongs had asked you a question or something, but continue, and then we'll
Okay,
take it from there.
anyone who's got questions, they can ask me questions though. The other thing is
Okay.
that okay, Tumelore, he wasn't attacking. He came with a particular defense mode for our black guys. He didn't understand where I
Yes.
was coming from. I was simply
Exactly.
saying our black brothers are misinformed. So when you literally tell them, "Hore, this is what's happening with me," they literally think, "Hore, it's the end of the world." and then they run or they think the worst out of what you're telling them. So that was basically what I was
True.
saying. And then I
And you can.
emphasized on telling sis Bomb that there's this guy who surprised me. He was black, and he literally made his research and got to know gore, if this happens, what he must do and all that. Not all of our black brothers are like that.
Thank you so much for clarifying that, sis Sweet Dumelo. Let's give Offense. He's been on the panel for some time now. Offense.
I nearly said good morning, good afternoon, good day. How?
Very well, very well. Thank you to have you back, brother. How you been?
Fantastic, eh? Fantastic. And before I jump into this topic, I'd like to thank you. I got my first appointment and things are looking great. I won't go into details.
We really appreciate that. Thank you. Sorry for everyone else who don't know this inside joke, but yeah, it's we can't go into it right now. But yes, thank you so much, Offense. You can continue.
Yeah, I wanted to add on your clarity when you're clarifying what Muzi was saying. And thank you, Muzi, for raising that. And since I'm not just supporting Musa to make him look good. I think he was not just trying to defend our black men. I think what he wanted to emphasize was how are you addressing this issue? Because I'm gonna give an example. We as men sometimes feel like women don't respect us only because of the approach. Imagine someone telling you that you are wrong in front of the whole family, in front of your kids, maybe raising their voice. It's not necessary that they are wrong, just the approach. So maybe this might help you, I don't know. How about when you go to a restaurant, you call the waiter and the restaurant manager, supervisor, you inform them about your situation. To say, guys, I'm sorry, I might be troubling you, but I have this condition. So if this happens, please assist me. Something like that before you can mention it to the guy, because we as men, some of us, we are scared. I remember I met this lady. She was beautiful, and all this time, if I would meet a lady within 3 months before we would actually go for HIV test, I would use a condom. That day, that's why I saw Kuti. I don't know whether it's God or ancestors or some spirits from the bright side are working. I was gonna hit it flesh because she was beautiful, gorgeous, beautiful body. And before we can go down, she disclosed that she's HIV positive. I was shaking. I saw it and I was so scared, as if I just slept with her. So some of the things, because you are not informed about them, it can be scary. And you can ask yourself, okay, how am I going to deal with this? And maybe you go further to say, even when you're doing clove, I might just pass out. Who wants to experience that, and it doesn't mean people don't like you or they don't find you attractive anymore. It's just maybe the approach. I don't know how you approach it, but maybe the approach, you need to maybe figure it out. And I don't know if you are the type of the 30-day rule. Sorry. I think in 3 months, you'd go out at least maybe 4 times minimum, depending on your schedule, both sides. And maybe on a second, third date, you might pose a question of, do you know anything about epilepsy? Then you go into this conversation and maybe you educate this guy. And after you can see that they are understanding this thing, and you give them homework if they don't understand it, and you push for this guy to know about this disease. Like you present it to him that you want to know more, though you know more, And if a guy wants you, they'll want to invest in what you like, because that time they haven't got a cookie yet. Then they will invest in this information and get information. If you're on the same level about being informed about the epilepsy, now you disclose. Say, dude, I really like you, but I had this challenge earlier. with the guys that I met. So the reason why I actually introduced you to this topic was because this is my condition. I'm not saying he's not going to go, but I think most of them, they will stay. Thank you.
All right, Sis Buitumelo. I'm gonna stop you again. just to do this. Welcome again, everyone who is joining us for the first time. Okay, so we've been talking about a lot of things, and I'm just allowing the conversation to flow. We don't have any direction whatsoever at this particular point in time. We are speaking towards Sis Buitumelo's particular case. And it seems like that's what has caught, and I don't think that's what she was coming for. But in any case, it has caught attention, and we are speaking about epilepsy, and not so much about epilepsy itself, but more about how do you deal with illnesses that you want to disclose, in a new relationship and things like that. When should it be? Blah 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 blah. So that is what currently where we are, and we have had Offense and Muzi speak, and I'll just say, I hear where you guys are coming from, but I won't go into your defenses, Bitumelo. Go ahead. Speak,
Okay.
ma'am.
Offense and what's his it's Muzi. Let me try to make you guys
Muzi, yeah.
understand. Yes, it's not the fact of how I deliver the news to you. Literally, I am a very bubbly person. I would even tell you that, let's say my friends know, I'd say to them, today literally it happened that I visit Dubai, and then after Dubai I went to UK and then came back to South Africa after 2 seconds. That's how funny I'm not that serious about my condition. And
Yeah.
for me to make sure that you know, because I never plan my seizures, I don't hear them coming. So I have to let you know on the get-go. I can never tell you this is my triggers, but I know that if there's too much heat, if I get too stressed, too excited, or there's too brightness in my eyes, those are some of the triggers that I get when I get to have seizures. I have a bracelet that's written that this is Bitumelo Millicent Dimu. I am epileptic. For emergencies, call my specialist. It has my specialist number there. So I don't think it's like I wouldn't know. It's our first date. How would I know which restaurant you're taking me because you're surprising me? When will I get the time and the admin to let the manager and the waitresses that this is happening? Wara wara? Because I have a bracelet with me that can tell you should anything happen. This is what what's going on. And I'm telling you on our first date, right? For you to be aware and at least you've got time, you've always got 10 minutes on your phone doing nothing. Just try to find out, should you get into such a situation, what's the first thing you should do? Because my condition is a severe one. I'm a special case. So if I don't tell you and I don't disclose to you, what's going to happen next? You're still gonna run and you're gonna say she didn't disclose. Wara wara. It's more like
All right. Thank you so much, Bitumelo. Yes, continue.
Okay, it's more like
Sis Bonds, I think Sis Bonds is a doctor, so already in jail, and she wants to make sure she knows what she needs to know. So that is good. I thank you, Sis Bitumelo. I think let's pause it there, and we will give. I think Subs had a ask to go in, and I'm gonna say this. Offense and Muzi, and I'm not speaking to you guys specifically, but I'm speaking to your perspective and your opinion and where it's coming from. I have a problem with us And when I say us, I mean spectators. When we want to tell a person who is actually having the condition how to go about handling their condition, when they tell, who they tell, and things like that. And I understand you are coming from a point of helping, not so much to bash, right? You're coming from a point of helping to say, hey, perhaps, yes, tell your people, but don't tell them in this manner because maybe that's why guys are running. Yes, we hear you. Approach might be great, might be better, and I definitely agree because personally for me, approach is very important. That's why I handled the situation the way I handled it when music came through, because we need to be proper and understanding where we are coming from and all of that. So I understand. However, it's equally important for the person who is dealing with a particular thing for them to set how they want to go ahead with how they address the situation. And it's for us, the people who are spectators, who then need to put ourselves in this person's shoes and view from where they're coming from. Yes? And I agree with the relationship and the dating and all of that. Possibly there's no luxury for that. If a person doesn't want to deal with someone who has a chronic condition, they just don't want to deal with it, they will run, and that's it. And also we don't have right to label them even when they're running, to say they are cowards or whatever the case may be. So that's what I wanted to say, that we need to yes, your hand is noted, Tatamuzi. So that is just what I wanted to speak about, to say that in as much as I appreciate your comment where you're coming from, we also need to be careful, because it's ironic, because the platform, we are here to talk about issues and give advice, great, but also there is that unsolicited advice, and it comes off it tends to brush off people off, and we need to be careful on how we do that and when not to do that. And like I said, I think we haven't given Sis Bitumelo an opportunity to even say why she is doing it the way she's doing it and why she feels she's very comfortable with that. And yeah, so let's also give her that opportunity. Subs, come through, and then we're going to go to Muzi, then Offense, because I noted all your hands in that order. Sabzi, come through, Mama.
Yo, hi guys. Hi, good afternoon. How are you guys
Sabelo.
doing? Yes, can
What
you guys
happened to your voice, Mama? What happened?
when I get you
Yes, I
today,
can hear you, but your voice.
your network is a bit delayed today, ya gago.
Is it
Because
my
I hear
network?
yes, even when people
No,
speak,
so
we
she
can hear
sounds a
them.
bit muffled, so we can't hear her.
Okay, now let's understand. Okay, first, let's get this. Is everyone else, can you hear me well? Or is there an issue with my network and my voice?
From my side, I can hear you well. I've never experienced any delay from your side.
Okay.
Also,
Okay,
my
so they
voice is
say
quite
my network is a bit delayed. Okay, now we can. All right. Sabelo, are you fine?
I'm not sure you guys can't hear anything. That means I need to scream above my voice, hey. Like you guys can't hear anything.
No. Now you are very clear. Now you are very clear. We can hear you well now.
You
Ariko.
and your phone.
Continue. Sorry, but we are good now. Continue, Mama. How are you?
I'm alright, guys. I'm alright. Thank you. Hello, ladies. It's the first time I see Buitumelo and Sis Bongs. They probably don't know who I am, but yeah. I wanted to add on what she was saying initially 2 hours ago when 2 hours ago when I joined. She was still saying that
Yeah.
she feels that like people have less knowledge about epilepsy, and she said that she was 31 and she's still waiting for her man to come and I wanted to say that just to add, Linda, I fully agree with her disclosing this at a first hand, because for me that says that she understands herself and she's accepted. And her saying when I'm going out, that person needs to know who they're going out with and what could be the situation, you know. For me, she's playing it safe, and not just for the person, but for herself as well. That because she mentioned like it's a very severe type of thing. Guys, I keep it's just my voice. I get ahead to scream because you guys said you can't hear me. I promise you, it's just, let me tell you, it is just my voice. If Leroy was here, he was gonna say something else, but yeah. Yeah, and I wanted to say that I promise you, when the one for you comes, he will stay. Whether he will be shocked by your condition, whether he will know more or know less or have no knowledge, he will stay. He will learn more about your condition and he will stay. And for her, like Witty, she even Kinali, I've got a cousin that stays with my mom. So it's my mom's younger brother's son. So he used to stay with my grandparents, and my grandparents passed away. My mom was the only person that could take my cousin. You know, Kechi, I always say that in my family we are all adopted. I've got so many adopted siblings. He's just one of them. And
Yeah.
he's epileptic. And I think now I'm listening to you and I'm getting, even I have a brother in the same, we living under the same roof, but I didn't understand what are other triggers. I know of a few, but I said to my mom the other day, because my mom left, my mom was going for the weekend. And then Busiu had an episode. And I said to my mom, I think also when his emotions are moved somehow, he reacts. And Buitumelo, you have just confirmed that for me now when you're saying that you're not supposed to be too excited or too sad or too what. And it was just a suspicion that I had, because I could see when we speak about certain things and when he's listening, he will in the evening, mostly it'll happen in the evening when he's supposed to go and sleep. That's when he has an episode. And I promise you, KG, Buitumelo just put things into a different perspective, like Kinali light piano. And my brother, Buitumelo, is, you are blessed, trust me. My brother is 26 years old.
We can't.
My brother is 26 years old, but you need to address him in a sense like you are addressing Timologo, KG. Even Timologo thinks Njabulo is his age. He is slow, like slow. So when he would have the seizure, like these episodes, he would always fall on his head that it has somehow messed up his grasping and his progress, hearing. So I can't face the other side and say to him, oh, Jabulo, bring whatever for me. You need to look at him, and he needs to be able to read your lips to hear and understand what you are saying. You need to look at him and address him by his name. Guys, Gingwana, I promise you, we can't leave him alone. Like every time we go away, there needs to be someone in the house. So, Butumelo, as much as you think the condition is severe, let me tell you, you are blessed. We can't even do anything with my brother. He's stuck in the house. He's bored. He's gone into an art school working with his hands. Graduated. Now he should be working or doing something, but we can't, because like sometimes he would go to the bathroom. If you close all the doors in the passage, KG, only about 6 or 7, 8 doors. If you close the door at the bathroom, he will not know the right door going back to the lounge or going back to the kitchen. That's how hectic it is. At his age, he's 26. We can't even find a job for him. We can find a job for him, but we are scared. We can't even put him in a taxi because he's not even going to get where he's going. Making it back home, that's another story for another day. It's not going to happen. So now we have a serious case at Kohai, like it's bad. So at least Yanashi, like he will even look at Timulucho using a phone. Like the fact that Timulucho is 2 years and Timulucho can operate a cell phone and he can't. That gets to him. So yeah, but no thanks as Butumelo. A lot of things I think now I can understand him more. Because he would get like episodes and triggers, and I wouldn't know sometimes why. But I think with emotions, it's the same as me with my short breath. I'm not supposed to be too excited or too stressed or too anything. But I promise you, I was with Melo. People would treat me and you different because, like you said, as much as it is a disability of some sort, but it doesn't mean that you are incapable of doing anything. And nalwena, we are going through the same things and with the same triggers. Just you get a seizure and I fall down and run out of breath. And my cousin is actually on a full-time social grant. Like the doctor was like, no, he has to get some sort of social grant. It's guys, it's a lot happening.
Thank you, Sabzi. You see, people, we are learning. We are learning. So when us is bongs, how to feel like are oversharing. You're not oversharing. Other people are learning from these experiences. Now, learners is Bitumelo was afraid to overshare. But now here we are, Sabs has learned something. So we really appreciate that. And let's see. I don't know if, who was it who needed to speak? Offense?
Oh yeah, I think you did cover it.
Okay.
Yeah, but just to share just 2 seconds there.
All right.
On what just explained was just from my side was just a suggestion in terms of how she should actually handle this. But otherwise, I wish her well. And to this recent who just spoke, Seps, I wish you guys strength to deal with this situation at home, because it looks like you are having a lifetime. I don't know what's the right word to use, but I wish you well, and I hope he gets better. Imagine looking after a 50-year-old man with that condition. It can be quite stressful, strenuous. Some of you guys are, gonna be married, moving out of the house. But anyway, good luck and thanks for sharing. And also you, Boiti, I wish you well, and hopefully you'll get people like Debonks that will understand your situation. Cheers.
All right, thank you so much, Offense. I think Muzi, you also had your hand up. Come through, sir.
Oh yes, definitely, sir.
Yes, sir.
I think we just need to show some love, honestly, to because I'm just hearing Subs talking about the situation at home, and it gives us the picture of why Bitumelo is also because of if you don't have it, you don't understand it, and I appreciate how you put us properly because and let me before I go further, let me quickly just digress a bit. Osbitumelo, I really apologize if I offended you in some way, Ngwanesu. I was never coming as defensive or attacking. In all truth, I was just coming in a sense. My thinking was that you are this beautiful person who is available in the market of love, and you feel like black guys don't understand you. That is how I came in. It's coming from the point out as a black guy approach like this is how I feel when you do this. So I was trying to help more, and I'm really sorry. It was never my intention. And Mr. KG, also apology to you and your spectators. It's my first time here, so I don't want to come in and I thought that was how I heard, and I'm sorry I didn't get the previous part of it.
Okay.
But
no problem.
My point also is this kind of things are important because we learn a lot, things that we didn't know before about certain things that you don't even think about, because who knows that tomorrow my cousin or whoever can meet a girlfriend who is epileptic, and I can remember Bitumelo's case to say, okay, this is how I approach this. So I think stories like Zabo's Bitumelo, we shouldn't see them as people attacking us, but we should see them as helping each other to say, black guys, you need to go and do a research about this kind of thing because you might get a girlfriend or go on a date with someone who is epileptic. This is us as epileptic people want to be treated, that is that is, I think it will be very better if we can create it as an informative sessions. But I really appreciate the time, Mr. KG, and I hope
pleasure.
to come back again very soon. I always see your live and I always just listen. I never comment. It's the first time I commented on it, but great show, my
We
guy.
appreciate
Keep it
it.
up.
We
Thank you.
appreciate
Thank
it.
you.
Thank you so much. Thank you for the follow. Listen, you are welcome any day, anytime. Like we always say, we are here Monday to Friday, 20 past 10, and we deal with this thing. So, and also that's something that we want to always, or we always preach. We don't want to be, I mean, we've all been in lives on TikTok where it's just yabba, 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 yabba. We don't want that. We want to have conversations that are enriching, where we can learn, we can have different perspectives. We don't have to agree, but we can also do it in a very respectful manner and in a manner where everyone can walk away, just as good as they came in or even better. So we really appreciate you guys also for being patient and, being, when I say stop, wait, let's deal with it this way, you listen. I appreciate that. And yeah, let's move with this conversation. Since Bitumelo, I think you've heard all the comments. I'll give you an opportunity to respond.
All I can say is I'm glad we are all on the same page. And subs, the other thing I wanted you to let you know, I used to attend speech therapy because I once had seizures in Gilligo Park Station and I fell into the railway. So I woke up, I think, after 1.5 months. né? And I had to be trained how to walk, how to talk. I had to be reminded of my kids' names, where I'm staying. Luckily, thank God, the company that I'm working for. Like these people, they had the patients I don't know from where with me for me to be this Vitumelo that who can speak properly now. But usually, even still now, should I get seizures, you still have to remind me my name, my age, where do I work, my kids, and my car color. Like I'll have to start going to you teaching me how to drive again until I get used to it on my own. That's how bad it is for me. But I think you subs should be more patient with me. Let's move as much as try teaching him alphabets. Try like meeting when I preschool. I am like that when I come back from where I was. When I come back from Dubai, come back to South Africa, you have to teach me my name and everything. So
yeah,
very slow, as slow as a snail. So you have to bear with me and all of that. So I am grateful with the company because if it was another company and they didn't know about these things and they were not forced to hire people with disabilities, I think they would have made me leave the job early. Early. Yeah. So
Sure.
you need someone who can be patient with. Now, as part, I have no one. But at least my daughter now knows if Iloro Mama Utuhile and she doesn't speak, she doesn't say anything. She's only 10. She knows she must remind me my name, she must remind me their names, and she must tell me that I'm home, and she must bring me water so that I can still, I don't know, it takes hours before I come back. So it needs someone who's patient. She's only 10. I know it's too much for her. Sometimes I feel like I wish I had a lot of money where I can have my own nurse, then I can pay that she can take care of me should I get seizures at night. Because mostly they happen at night. They don't happen during the day. They happen at night. With this heat wave that we are facing right now, it's worse.
Sure.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just had this crazy idea. But I don't think it's a crazy idea. I think I probably saw it in a movie or something. And I don't know, obviously, how that would pan out. But maybe you should consider having a recording of yourself, especially with this information that you need to give. And, then instead of maybe your child having to go through that same thing, you just tell them, okay, when this thing happened, play this audio or this thing for me, let me see myself. Then you just a recording of you repeating all the information that you feel it's important to you as Bitumelo to get you back to where you need to go. maybe that might make things a bit easier. I'm not sure.
It might, but the problem is functioning after getting up, you know? It's more like I'm paralyzed. Nothing's like is making sense. It's blurry and all that. Like it might
Sure.
help, but who's gonna play it for me? Because I'm tired of my child seeing me going through what I'm going through also. But is it how will it be automated for it to pick up that okay, this happened, now I have to play this so that you know I need a human interference, irregardless.
Sure.
Yeah.
No, I definitely hear you. Wow. Sabs, you have your hand up?
KG, it is the most craziest thing that you are thinking about that, and I'm sitting here also thinking, actually, yeah, because we have thought of doing that for my brother, but except my brother is like very, very like my brother is almost now a dysfunctional motlhogong, like yabo, like a low learner. Boitumelo, I get where KG comes from. When he says that, and I get that you guys very slow, like you must see. So how we didn't. So my brother would wake up some mornings, ne, and like super super slow. He would get up and not know where he wants to go, and then sometimes he will stand in the passage or by the door. He will freeze, and we never used to understand. And I said to my mom one day, what if he gets episodes during the night? And because he sleeps alone in his room and we don't see it. And then actually, I promise you, KG, I started saying, I think I know every morning when he's like this, that means at night, during the night, he had an episode. And with Dumelo, you just confirmed that. Because it was just a thing in my head, Horai. He must have had an episode. And so there's a movie called 51st Dates. But
yes, that's the one.
yes, 51st Dates, she had a car accident. And she had like a 1 day amnesia. Like she will remember everything that happened today for the day, but the next day, once she sleeps and she wakes up in the morning, she doesn't know anything. So they have a whole recording. So what you're gonna do, Butumel, is you are going to speak and say, "My name is Butumelo Mang Mang. I'm this old. I've got 2 kids," and like play out your whole life. So instead of your child doing it in the morning for you, she plays it for you, not that you play it for yourself, because honestly, you are almost dysfunctional. You're not gonna be able to remember even when there's a recording. But instead of your daughter speaking to you about that, she can quickly get that recording and you can watch yourself, and that helps. Let me tell you, it's even you just watching yourself, you telling the story, it's refreshing. You saying, I drive this car, and then the only things maybe that now you can learn for the day is maybe like you said, like driving, but with stuff that you can keep record of. Now I say do it, and your daughter can play the recording for you.
Yeah,
All right.
I'm definitely considering it. Thank you so much, guys. I never thought of it. I'm not a person who watches TV anyway.
But what
You're
you
not a person. You're
I
not
don't
a
like
person who does
TV.
what?
I don't like TV.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So
Well,
when you
this time
mention
around,
movies
you
and
need to
all
do
this,
something.
yeah, when you mention movies and all that stuff, I'm like, really? I'm shocked all the time because TV is also the trigger, you know?
Ah,
Because remember, an epileptic person, his or her brain cells are working overtime, whether you're sleeping or not. So now,
okay.
if for me to know that I had seizures at night, I'll see by the blood on my pillow because I bite
Ah,
myself.
yes,
Yeah,
bite yourself, yeah.
yeah, I bite myself when I get seizures. So ke tla bona
Yeah.
ka madi mo motshamekong gore, oh, this happened, and then it takes time. It takes even at work they understand. They know if she's not in for 3 days in a week, we know what happened. They don't even get scared. They just call to check if I'm okay, if I'm getting better or not.
All right. So, Vitumelo, I think you need to get into the DMs, Sis Bongs, because she's really, really concerned about some of the things that you're saying, and
So
yeah.
frustrated because I'm not understanding. I'm not
Before you
understanding
continue, Sis Bongs, let me
because
finish.
I
Let
deal with
me.
this specifically, so I'm not understanding how he. No,
All right. Let
please.
me deal with this one. So when Subs said what she said earlier on, she was not saying but about epilepsy are slow. is not what you're saying. Hey, you know, yeah. So she was just speaking to her brother having epilepsy and how she's relating to what Sis Bitumelo is saying. That after the episode, slow to get things in terms
Yes,
of where I am and all of it. Not to say when generally are slow,
they are
but
slow.
in her
Okay.
also instances that the brother Lena, because it has affected his brain, then there's also a
Okay.
level of
So
that
we're not saying that they are slow mentally. They just
at
their
all.
cognitive senses react
No,
slower
Precisely.
after the. Okay, because
let me
yeah, I just needed clarity
let
on
me
that one.
balance the
Thanks a
net.
Okay,
lot.
Sis Bongs. Again, we are all speaking at the same time. Let's hear Sis
Sorry.
Bitumelo. You wanted to correct, yes?
Yeah, let me balance this bongs there. This bongs,
Yes.
it's not that we're saying epileptic people are slowness or they dysfunction slowly. Yes, we dysfunction slowly after having a seizure. After the attack, that's when we function slowly. Everything becomes slow, like a snail, how it moves. So that's why we need someone to tell us, "Hore, who are you," and all of that. So it's not that we're saying like me right now. Ngwanaka wa Sabs, he's got his own type of way of condition, I guess, but it's the same condition, but we don't react the same way. Now I can still come back and be the normal person, but after getting a seizure, that's where I become that person again, a child again, that I have to be told and reminded of the things, and then I
Yeah.
become okay.
Wonderful. Thank you for that. And also just to clear, and you will correct me, Sis Bongs, but I believe Sis Bongs is a doctor. I don't know in which field she's dealing with and all of that. So when she's speaking to you, Sis Bitumela, in her comments, she's also speaking from a element or the perspective of being a doctor. Hence, I was saying that maybe I'll need to get on each other's DMs and just talk things out, and perhaps because yeah, she's very frustrated by some of the things she's hearing, and yeah. Oh, so
You're
sorry,
gonna
Sis
get me
Bongs.
in trouble, please.
So sorry.
Please.
No, but not in this our community. Don't worry. And also, guys, by the way, if anything it so happens that someone from the live, because you're on the panel, they send you a DM and ask you either for money or for help and things like that, feel free, especially when you don't want to do it, feel free to send us a DM to say, hey, screenshot and be like, hey, this person is bothering me, so that we can deal with such things. So we don't allow people, and we always encourage people, please, we are here because people are genuinely wanting to help. Don't make it troublesome to do so because when you feel entitled to any form of help or whatever the case. No, if someone has time to respond to your DM, they will respond. If they don't respond, they don't want to respond. Don't now be this person and now just on their DMs. So please, let's not do that. Let's be very cordial. If someone wants to help, they will help. We always say ask, and if they say no, accept the no, move on. Thank you so much. So feel free to response. We won't, yeah, if ever you get any funny business, send a DM. We will deal with that person easily, nicely. So yes, Sis Bongs, you can speak.
Okay, so what I am understanding from Melo is the fact that, okay, one, she's on a very extremely high dose. I've never heard of those numbers unless you are like literally have been admitted into in-house treatment. We usually, the starting line is 1.1 up to 1.4 at for a functioning person, because how are you driving at 1.6 grams? How are you standing just as a normal person? So unless you are like treated in-house, that is an extremely high dose, unless you have to break the pill, which is very tiny, into half. But I don't think your actual neurologist would prescribe that for you. And because you are tonic cloxic and you're saying you never know when your seizures are gonna come, one of the other methods you could try is an EEG, I'm sure your neurologist has spoken to you about that, to try and understand what your brain waves are doing when you're in a relaxed mode and when you are over what's this when you have too much adrenaline in you, whether it's shock or surprise. So you can try doing that, or actually just do a simple thing like go to a sleep clinic and get that sleep study, take it to your neurologist, because that will tell you how your body reacts in terms of do you get too much temperature, do you feel nauseous, or do you feel the body tightening just before you get the shakes? Because most people, they are very aware, so when they're upset, they clench their jaw and their muscles tighten, so they go into that stiff mode and then they collapse and then they go. You understand? So usually you should be aware, but because you are in a too high of a dose, I don't think you should be out there on your own. You understand? And again, on the disclosure bit, I am okay with your explanation, but I'm not too comfortable with every stranger having access to that information. And strangers are people you go on a first date with. Do you understand? Because people have malicious intent that you might not know of and might use that against you. Yes, it's cute that we can say if he likes you, he'll stick around. But some people, and the fact that you get that much rejection sometimes might not be healthy entirely for you, because people then change their minds and they're thinking, can't deal with this, and respectfully so, they should be able to change their minds. But it has an impact on you, because how you see yourself is also a trigger point, because there's this thing of autopilot with people who are epileptic, where you could be driving and it's like the lights are on, no one's home, and because you're thinking in trance and you're not concentrating on what's happening, and the seizure has already started in the brain, and you then lose obviously cognitive control. But because you're overthinking and you're over processing and you being on a very high dose, it's a bit tricky. So please do have a conversation with your neurologist, because she or he should have taken you through like a 2-week process of learn your medication, how to self-regulate your body, how to not be in situations that will trigger high levels of adrenaline. And yes, I love the fact that you're saying you wear a bracelet. I commend you for that. That is a good thing. And people at restaurants, they are well trained to understand that. Obviously, Shisanyama, we're talking actual restaurant.
Why is Shisanyama's getting a straight, guys? Why?
Guys, you're not gonna go to Mama's caravan and have a seizure and expect her to know what's going on.
Yeah.
Right? It's like how they know how to treat allergies, and so forth. But yes, it's noble of you to think that disclosing is on the first day is healthy, but just be aware of the fact, and I'm not saying don't do it, but be aware of the fact that it's not everybody that's gonna receive that information in good faith. Do you understand? Some people will stick around and always manipulate the situation to say, "Phela ukhumbule wena ukuthi unokuba nezinto
Hey.
ezioff,
Oh.
yeah." And I believe you're living a very healthy life. You sound healthy, but I'm just concerned about your dose. It's a bit too high for me. Do have this conversation, and obviously the immediate people in your family have to be trained, literally trained. They cannot lift you up just when you're having a seizure. They have to press you down, little things like that. Like your kids have to know that. Like they can't go call the neighbor and the neighbor lifts you up, because you could sever the nerves on your spine to your brain and blah blah blah, things like that, which I'm sure your neurologist has taken you through. But now having to explain explicitly that kind of information to a person on a first date, I don't know. I'm uncomfortable, and I'm not saying don't do it. This is just my personal opinion.
Thank you so much for that, Sis Bongs. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. And I think before I allow you to also speak, Sis Bitumelo, it's uh, I also understand, especially, I think we've had this conversation. I think at the time we were talking about HIV, and when do you disclose, how to disclose, is it fine to do it right away? You know, do you owe anyone disclosing? And all of those, questions. And we're having this conversation. And I, I also understand from a safety point of view, in her situation, wanting to let the person know, hey, this is what could happen. But also, I think having a, lack of a better word, some kind of a structure, some kind of a routine, be it a form of a device, things like that. Now we have Woody smartwatch and things like that. We have, whatever. I'm sure if we look closely enough, we can find, these wristbands or something that is more digital, that if you do go through a seizure, that can then alert your loved ones, and then they would know automatically this is the location where this person is. They know when to call and things like that. So they should be things like that, and I think you should look at investing in things like that, so that at least those who are close to you can know, kuti, yeah, no, this is a thing. Okay, so these bounces agreeing there are sensor triggers and ambulance, yes, things like these, where then we can know, even if you're in an environment where no one knows, no one cares to check a wristband to read, kuti, you have this thing. So we can find ways that can work best for you in terms of using technology. And I think that would be something that I think you should look into and invest into it. And then, yeah, so that you can get a trigger somewhat. If you have that thing, then it sends notification to your loved ones. They know where to call, they know where you are. If you're going to go on a date, at least someone knows where you're going, where you are, and things like that. Live location, more WhatsApp or things like that, so that at least people have access to you. For instance, your daughter might have access to your, I don't know what devices you're using, but I know, for instance, in case with my wife, we have, I think it's Google something something. I have access to her Google. She has access to my Google. So at any point in time, I need to, if I'm calling her, I'm not finding her, I can easily go onto her profile and ping her phone, see where the phone is at. Then I can see, oh, at least she's still at work. So maybe the phone is not with her, or I can call someone, whatever the case may be. But at least we have a system where we know, if you can't get a hold of me, there's this next point. If this doesn't work, there's this next point. So you need to put in those sort of things into place to make it easier, and maybe even go as far as looking for I wouldn't say retirement homes, but some places that can afford you a service like this, where then we know that there is someone who can come and check regularly over a week or whatever the case, or you stay in an area where you can access a nurse, or your child can easily call a nurse who can come in quickly, or things like that. So maybe think around that to see if you can structure your life around that, because you did say that at least financially you're able to work around that. So the little that you can do with what you have, maybe see if you can put things together in that journey. I'll give you an opportunity to speak, Sis Bitumen, and I think we can close it. We've been at this thing, you guys, in.
Thank you so much.
Yo, I've been talking, my God.
Yeah. So, regards to gadgets, ne? There's more times whereby I get seizures, I have gadgets on me. People would take them. People would steal from me. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
They steal the smartwatch, they steal your cell phone, they take your bank card, they lie and say, I know this person, that time they don't know you. So I about that one, I given up on buying a smartwatch for the iPhone, guys.
Sure.
I am broke. It's a lot of money. It's a lot of money. So right now, the only thing that I have is an alarm in my car that should I get seizures whilst I'm driving, then what do you call emergency would pick it up.
Okay.
I'm driving an auto, so it
Yeah.
would pick it up immediately, and then they would come to my rescue immediately. And my way offers that, so I didn't know. So thanks to my way, it gave me that
That's
option
nice.
on my insurance for my car.
Yeah.
So yeah, it helped me in that part. And then the part of buying phones and the smartwatches and all, people they take them. People like even if you had if you were in a car accident, né? And those people who come to check your car, they take stuff in your car. They do
Oh.
that. They do that.
Yeah. No, I hear you. Thank you so much. And I will still repeat this one, Mrs. Bitumen. You're in the wrong country. You're in the wrong country. I would say, and this is to everyone, guys. We need to, if we can, we need to choose ourselves. And this thing of being, I don't know, whatever form of clinging we have to South Africa when there's better out there. Guys, we can't be. This one stresses me so much. We can't be in a country where it's normal when someone is having a seizure, you'd rather take stuff from them. Or there's an accident and then you just pack and go. Every country has its own issues, I understand. But guys, kune Mauritius, guys. Not even far, even in Africa, there are better countries where the moral decay is not as bad as ours. You can go to other areas and at least you don't have to worry about your safety. You don't have to worry about crime. You don't have to worry about these sort of things. And you can live a more wholesome life and be okay. There's your Dubai, where not just Dubai, but just the UAE in general, and where you can live a more standard of life slightly better. Yes, it might be expensive in certain areas, but you know that you don't have to worry about your safety. You don't want to worry about people stealing from you and things like that. If you can, guys, invest into these things. You can go to Mauritius and live for a year in Mauritius without a visa or without a need of a visa, or even if you need the visa, it's free. Any visa in Mauritius is free. You can apply, go live in Mauritius. If you are able to make money online, go do that. There's a country called Georgia. You can go there and stay for a whole year without needing a visa, and you can build a life there and be fine. Guys, the world is ours to. But I thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you, Sis
thank you
Bitumelo.
guys.
Consider these things, man. Consider these
Yeah,
things.
I'm glad that actually we taught a lot of people, we made them aware of such things that are happening around us. And like I
True.
said, people are misinformed. I'm glad that
Mhm.
at the end of the tunnel there was a light and people learned, you know. That's the only thing that we need such a broadcast like this for people to learn. Ntse sale re bua ka bo doctor ba di-fake, re bua ka bo mamang ba trendang, rather than life learning things that you know how to more you grabbed some knowledge and you are equipped with knowledge. Should something occur to you, you know how to come across it and how to deal with it. And Sis
Definitely.
Bongs, ke a leboga, Dr. Sis Bongs, a ke tsebe jwang o nkutlwisitse moo.
Keep it at 6 bonds. Don't say other things. Just 6 bonds.
Ke a leboga. With my treatment, I don't know, but my body has adjusted my dosage. I can work through it. My body has adjusted it. That's why even when I used to be as low as a 10 cold. So now my body has adjusted the dosage. They don't it stays like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Much appreciated, Sis Bitumelo, for sharing. Thank you for educating those who cared to listen. And thank you for all 20 of you and some who might have left because, hey, we pushed this envelope today. Thank you for all of you who have stayed to learn. We see you even if you're not commenting. We appreciate your number. You know, I know there are so many people who always come through and they're listening. They are maybe shy to speak or to even comment. We appreciate you guys. We appreciate you, all of you who share, all of you who comment, all of you who like and, you know, go on YouTube listening to the podcast and some of the recordings that we are making. So this is one of the recordings that will go up so that, you know, people can learn what they need to learn. So share it with your people, share it with whoever you want. And let's continue to love each other. Let's continue to educate each other. Let's continue to be better people in life. Yabo. So yeah, even though they slide on our DMs, yeah. In any case, one thing I wanted to say when I says with Dumelo is that at any point in time, if you want, you know, I don't know, whatever form of advice or someone to listen or whatever the case may be, feel free to contact any of us. Mina, I'm open when I have time. I'm available, you know. I think so for instance, things like how you have mentioned how you grew up and whatever, you don't need necessarily to feel that you don't have family, you don't have people and things like that, you know. I always say, ask. The least you can get is a no, and that's it. You move, you ask again, and then we move. So, Benito, it's my first time to watch your live. However, I've learned a lot. Next time, I'll share my story. We will really appreciate that, Bonito. Come through any day. We are here Monday to Friday, 20 past 10. We usually listen to Ask a Man. Marki December, and then we have our own segment, Talk to Me Ntwana, where we talk about anything and everything that we care about. So, yes, there we go, Sis Bonds. We have family now. Our choice, Poiti. You see? So come through at any time and send a message. You just want to hear, even if you just want to vent, come through and vent, you know, on the platform. You are safe. You always be protected. So thank you so much, guys. Enjoy the rest of your day. There should be someone else tomorrow hosting. I will see you guys on Thursday, I think. And yeah, we don't know how long the thing will happen with Metro, but we will always be here, even if it's for 30 minutes, even if it's for an hour. Just stay and check up. December dintang, you know, the planning to December, guys. The holiday nyana dintang. But in any case, enjoy the rest of your day. Subs.